It's your boy, V-Man is Real, the People's Champ, back with another live stream. Getting two in one day, y'all. Getting two of these in one day is another riff off session. And the topic is going to be you can't control men's speech. We're going to get into it. We are going to get into it. As you come in the door, hit the like, subscribe, and share button. Hit the like button, hit the Cash App, support the channel, support male content, support independent black thoughts, support your interests. If you don't want to be here, don't be here. Move around. Plenty of places to be out here in these YouTube streets. Nobody is forcing you to be here. You have a choice. Now, if you are here, if you will continue to remain, please hit the like button. Hit the like button. Interact. Interact in the chat. Let me know you're here. Shout it out. Shout it out. But we're gonna talk. I think I think this needs to be said. Um think this needs to be said. This is a conversation that needs to be had. I'm sorry, ladies. I'm sorry. You can't and will not control men's speech here in the manosphere. Nobody asked for your participation. Nobody invited you to come in. So if you decide to come over here where the men are over here speaking like men. You have no control. We're not going to change what we're saying to make you, quote unquote, feel better. That's not what's going to happen over here. If you don't like how men talk, then leave and don't come back. Everybody ain't built for this life. So, and men, stop changing your speech to make them feel better. When does it stop? When is it going to stop? So if you let it a little bit in the door, you might as well kick the whole door down. This is the problem with previous generations of men. Yeah, our punk ass daddies and our punk ass granddaddies. I said it and I'll say it again. Somebody's got to say it. Somebody's got to say it. Let's give a shout out to Amanas, the number one moderator is in the house. She has checked in. All other content creators, as you come in, please uh, acknowledge the chat and introduce yourself. Otherwise, we don't know you. And please drop a link to your channel. We want to spread this content. We want to spread male centric content. But we got to start acting like men, fellas. Grab your balls and stop being scared of what they going to say, especially in a space that's supposed and that is designed for men. This was not no universal and co-ed space. This is the manosphere. Start acting like men. Y'all so scared to tell people what you really think. And oh, you disrespectful, V. You're damn right. And some of y'all agree with what I'm saying. You may not agree with 100% of what I say. Nobody agrees 100%. But y'all talk like bitches, man. Straight up. A lot of y'all dudes. Y'all pretend to be masculine, but deep down you ain't masculine. You're beta and you a simp. And I don't care how you're simping, you're doing it. Oh, you ain't right, V. You went too far. You ain't never said that to men talking to men. But now men talk now because they jumping in our space and we're responding accordingly to some of them. Some of us are to some of them. Now we got to monitor our speech. Absolutely not. Grow a pair. Grow a pair. Stop with, especially when they saying foolishness. On one hand, it's not everybody, and I got men saying this now. That ain't everybody. You can't use generalizations. The world is built on generalizations. If you don't agree, then don't go to the hospital, because the hospital practice medicine based on the generalizations, on the majority. They don't customize your care based on you. That's not what's happening. They're not designing cars based on your individual body physique. They're designing the car based on the majority of the people who they expect to drive that car. It's a generalizations. But now men, y'all got feminism and womanism even further in y'all brains. And you don't even realize it's a part of who y'all are, y'all young men. It's ridiculous. And here y'all go put your Captain Save a Hoe on to defend yourself. Let the woman defend herself. That's what they've been asking for, right? So why y'all always got to be Captain Save a Hoes? I said what I said. And it ain't the first time I said it. So some of y'all may think I'm wrong. I'm a be fair. I'm gonna tell the story. I was on a panel tonight. We were talking, and we were talking about the question on the panel was at that time was, what is the ideal first date? We going around the panel. Few guys gave their opinions, and I pretty much was in line with them. Wasn't exact, but we all were pretty close. You know, um, Now here go the chick. Well, first of all, I'm gonna drive myself in case I don't feel safe. Why wouldn't you feel safe at a freaking Applebee's or Chili's or some? You're out in public on a date. Men aren't snatching women up at Chili's. Let's get real, especially. Hmm, well, this is the People's Channel. I can say it here. Especially ain't grabbing up no 250-pound women from Chili's and kidnapping you. Get fucking real. It ain't happening. That's never. I'm not gonna say it's never happened. Please, if somebody got a video of somebody getting kidnapped out of a Chili's or that kind of a Applebee's kind of place, a woman of any size, please let me know. Ain't nobody out here kidnapping damn near 50-year-old women. Stop. Stop. See, they've been trained there where they could say anything they want to us, right? But we can't say anything. We got to monitor our speech, but they don't have to monitor their speech. They don't give a fuck how you feel or what you think or what's disrespectful or respectful. They will say whatever they want to say, and y'all men won't say a damn thing about it. But soon as a man speaks, oh no, V, no, no, you can't say that, man. That was over the line. You being disrespectful. Even though I've said the thing I've said thousands of times over the years, right? What what I mean? What are we talking about?
God damn it! You can't make this shit up!
What are we talking about here? We grown folks, right? Now all of a sudden I gotta worry about your feelings. So here's what I said. And some other things were said, but I'm gonna kind of jump around a little bit. What I said that was so offensive. Well, first well, my daddy always told me to watch the block and look around, and I'm from New York. Who gives a shit? It ain't got nothing to do with this conversation. And how is what your punk ass daddy told you worked out for you? How has that worked out? You're 50 years old here on here, married and looking for a boyfriend. How has that worked out for you? Let's be real. This is all public information she shared. Not tonight, but over the time. This ain't a person I ain't never interacted with. I ain't got time for that foolishness. Because young people hear this shit and they don't know the history and they buy into that bull crap. I don't care what your daddy said. Whatever he said ain't helped you get no man and keep one. See, people who want to, when they want to validate what they're saying, they always bring in that. I've told y'all this before. Well, I was raised this way, and my grandmama said, and my daddy said, nah, fuck all of that. Ain't got nothing to do with what we talking about. Nothing. It don't matter. Beware of them old wives' tales, is what the Bible says. Cry loud and spare not. But I'm wrong because I'm doing that. He ain't tell me to be nice about it. He told me to lift up my voice like a trumpet. So I'm sounding the alarm for y'all. I'm doing it for y'all. Young men. So y'all ain't gotta wait 20 years or 10 years from now and been figured it out then after you done went through a bunch of crap. If you going out on a first date and you offer to pick up the woman and she violent, well, now I'm gonna drive myself. You already know she got one foot out the door already. Well, how you know that? I didn't. How you know I ain't got to pick up my son? I don't give a fuck about your son. If your son is that important, then you need to plan accordingly. I don't need to know about it. So you agree to go on a date, plan accordingly. So if you got to do all of that with your son, then maybe this is not the day you should be going on a date. It is what it is. Be grown folk about it. I got 4 kids. I got 4 kids. So don't give me that I got kids crap either. It don't work on me. That may work on y'all young guys, but these baby mamas and these single mamas always want to try to throw their problems up on us. It's your problem. You got a child that you got to monitor, even though he's a high schooler or some shit. Get real. Get real. That is not excuse. You're making excuses up and you're lying. So you said it, you said the truth in the beginning, which was I'm driving the car in case something go wrong. Why are you always got the negative in your mind? A man offers you out to dinner and you're planning and you got an escape plan already. And what's going to go wrong when you can't? Hey, you know what? This date ain't working out. Thank you for bringing me or whatever. I think I want to go home now. Or I'm going to catch an Uber home. That's what adults do. If the man is crazy, how you think you're gonna make it to your car anyway? If he's so crazy and could kidnap you from a restaurant full of people, he gonna let you walk to the car? Come on now, stop it. Then why you going like somebody else said? You can't. You shouldn't even go to the grocery store. Why you going to the grocery store since you're so scary? Because people could be kidnapping you from the grocery store. Hell, we've heard more grocery stores have been shot up than you've ever heard of somebody being kidnapped on a date from Chili's, Applebee's, or someplace. Stop the foolishness. Stop. Hey, Amanaz is in the chat. She's sharing links. Make sure y'all check those links out. I think she just dropped RBN's channel, so make sure you subscribe to the Real Bravado Network and also subscribe to Amanaz's channel as well. She dropped both links. Subscribe, support. We not playing this foolishness, y'all. We not gonna do it. And I don't care who like it. Sometimes you gotta hear shit you don't like. It is what it is. Now, every time y'all hear something like from a man, it's so offensive and your world falls apart. Then why are you over here? Go talk to women and go stay in the women's sphere. Talk to them and stay safe and warm and fuzzy. But you choosing to enter the manosphere. You choosing to come over here. This ain't the first time you've been around want to chat with me. It ain't your first time. So it ain't the first time I said what I said about these punk ass daddies and granddaddies. I say it all the time. Oh, now I'm gonna be you making it about my daddy, and you so this is fuck your daddy. I don't care about your daddy. He ain't. You brought him into this in conversation. I didn't. So I was speaking generally. I wasn't speaking about her daddy specific. I don't know her father. So let's grow up. Obviously, I'm talking about men, old men in general. They lied. Same thing as the old women. They lied and got you fucked up. And now I'm telling the truth. You mad. Because what I'm saying goes against the bullshit that they said to you. Ain't your daddy ain't never told you somebody was gonna kidnap you from a restaurant. He ain't never said that. And don't put it on him. Stop. And ain't nobody trying to take old ass women out on dates like that. Stop. Is it possible? Sure, lots of things are possible. It's unlikely. Stop spreading that message. Men out here kidnapping. Now, men out here kidnapping 250-pound white women that's damn near 50 years old. Really? That's what we doing? So we go from super predators when we was kids to now we kidnapping fat white women out of the damn oh, I guess I'm wrong because I'm saying she fat. I'm not allowed to call a spade a spade. Morbidly obese, can I say that? Is that the medical term? Is that the one I can use? What is the correct term? Or I forgot. We can't say nothing they don't like to say. So I can call a skinny chick skinny or slim, because that's what she is. But a chick that's morbidly obese and damn near 50 years old, I can't state the thing that you see with your own eyes. And I'm being disrespectful, you're not gonna control my speech. Maybe some of these punk ass dudes out here gonna allow that. I'm not gonna allow it. Because that's the gatekeepers. That's how they start gatekeeping by, and that's why they come into man spaces to figure out what we talking about. And then when they get comfortable, they want to start interacting in a way so they can monitor what we're saying. No, we ain't allowed to do that in their spaces. So they can't do it to ours. Stop letting people, women, control your spaces, men. They say whatever they want without with no regard to you. And these are the women in your family. These are your aunties, your sisters, your cousins, your mamas. They want to control your speech. You're all of a sudden out of line and out of pocket. Just answer the question. How about stop going off on these fucking tangents with things? She introduced this line. The question was, what is your ideal first date? You could, all the guys said, hey, I want to take a girl to coffee. I'd rather go somewhere that I like as opposed to where she likes. Another guy said, hey, I want her to feel comfortable. That's your business if that's what you want to do. What men should be doing is going to a place they already go to. Don't take a woman to a place she wants to go to, because the woman's supposed to be getting to know you. That's why she's going on a date. You're hosting it, as somebody put out. You're hosting this. So you've already offered to provide transportation. She declined. Whatever. We're here now. We're at a place. I tell when young men specifically, if you like Applebee's, take it at, hey, tell her, hey, look, you want to go out, you've been talking on the phone. Here's the example. You've been talking on the phone, getting to know each other, and you decide you want to take it to the next step. You want to see each other in person, outside of work or whatever, in a social setting. So you say, the woman say, hey, let's go out sometime. You go, you know what? That's a good idea. I tell you what, I'm going to Applebee's Friday night. Why don't you meet me there? Or I'll pick you up. But go, you control where you want to go, a place, and you don't go to Applebee's unless you normally go to Applebee's. That's your spot. Whether it's Applebee's, Chili's, whatever. You make sure you're comfortable so that way you're putting your best foot forward. Because if you go to a place you normally don't go, you're not going to be putting your best foot forward. That's why I'm saying that. She's there to get to know you and experience, or go through the experience that you provide. That's what getting to know you is. Not because she wants to taste food. She wants to taste food and taste oysters with one of the videos we played or whatever. Let her do that on her own time. You're not here to sample the cuisine. You're here to get to know me and, and experience me. That's what it's about. Shout out to Steve the Dean Williams. He been teaching that for years to y'all, just like I have. Got to start operating like men. Stop trying to cater to people who have no interest in catering you, people who got their one foot out the door. That wasn't even the question. I need to protect myself. I need to protect yourself from what? You live in the safest time in history on the safest place on earth. What are you protecting yourself from? Well, I've had a stalker before. First of all, again, that's that bullshit. We have no way of verifying that. Did you get a police report? Did you seek therapy? So before, if you still haven't overcame that, because some dude said, "Oh, she might have PTSD." We all might have PTSD, but if you haven't overcome it enough where you could go out in a social setting outside, then you need more therapy. You need to work out your own issue before I spend money taking you out. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Hold on a second, y'all. Give me 1 second. Let me do something here. Let me do something here. Let me do something here. But right back. Hold on. So anyway, I'm sorry. I'm back. I hope y'all hear me. Y'all hear me good? Let me know. Let me get a thumbs up, a like, or something. Let me know y'all hear me. I had to do something real quick, so I needed to make sure I was okay. All right. I got distracted for a moment, but yeah. Yeah, so this nonsense that I'm so scared and I can't, you want a man, but you're scared of men at the same time. Make up your mind. Which one is it? Stalkers generally don't invite you out to Chili's or Applebee's. That's not what they do. And you're not preventing a man from stalking you by not going out to dinner. A man can stalk you that you don't even know stalking you. We live in a world in the internet. Are you protecting yourself? You got a lock on your mailbox? Hmm. You got LifeLock on your credit report? You got a VPN to protect your ISP? I mean, are you taking? I mean, are we doing all of these things too? No, more than likely no, absolutely not. So you're being facetious. Stop trying to introduce this fear element. Anytime women are interacting with men, they should be scared because men are just kidnapping 250 pound white women that's damn near 50 years old. That's the thing, right? Come on now. But I'm the one that's being disrespectful. Y'all don't find that offensive that a woman had the nerve to say that to a group full of men? You ain't offended by that? I am, but I'm not allowed to be offended. I got to think about their comfort first. What about my comfort? You making me uncomfortable. I could spend my money, but you can't ride in my car. I ain't allowed to know where you live, then I don't need to spend money on you. Why am I spending money on you? Since you feel that you have that quote unquote feelings, you're having all these fearful feelings, then you don't need to be engaging with me. There's nothing I could do that's going to change that in one date. No way. Nothing. So then she says, "Well, what if the man gets weird and he gets aggressive?" I'm like, "What's aggressive? Or what if he tries to hold my hand? Are you shitting me?" So you're a man trying to hold your hand on a first date is aggressive. Are you shitting me? Again, no wonder you're single at 48, damn near 50 years old, whatever you are. No wonder. If you already got them thoughts in your mind, you're not protecting yourself. What did Sonya Sung say? Your brain is constantly protecting yourself from things that you no longer need protection from. That's what Sonya Sung was talking about. And 30 years ago, she said that, by the way. It's true today. This is an example of that. This is an example of that. So throughout our history at a time where women were getting lynched and kidnapped and dogs sicked on them and arrested and during that era when those things happened regularly, women didn't have this kind of fear. So now in a time where none of this is happening, you got a fear for what exactly? What exactly are we being scared of? And where is your example? Oh, it could happen. Lots of things can happen. Stop being ridiculous. Again, you could walk out your house at any time of the day and get kidnapped. Hell, here in Charlotte, there was a thing. They was kidnapping people in their own houses in broad daylight. That was a thing going around about 20 years ago when all of these new subdivisions started getting built. What they would do is they would run up on the houses and tie everybody up and rob the house in broad daylight. There was also breaking into cars at malls, and if they would mess your car up real bad, break the windows, flatten the tires. So you come out of the mall or the gym and your car is jacked up. So now while you waiting for the police to come deal with you, they done got your registration, they done got your garage door opener, and they at your house robbing your house. They done pull the van up under your garage, and now you get home and you find that your house has been emptied out too. These things were happening in broad daylight regularly at one point. But you worried about the dude taking you to Chili's. Are you shitting me? Are you shitting me? What are we talking about? What are we talking about, people? What are we talking about? I mean, this is craziness. This is absolutely crazy. But I'm wrong for responding to the craziness. Y'all let anybody come up and say any crazy, foolish thing that make black men look dangerous and bad. You're not offended by that. But I speak to it and how crazy it is and where it comes from, and y'all have no problem with that. Y'all have a problem with me how I responded to it. Unbelievable. I don't care what my tone was. I don't care what my words are. This shit is fucking ridiculous. That's what I know. But I'm wrong. I'm wrong. V is wrong, right? Can't make this up, man. Can't make this shit up. Listen, I know some of y'all don't watch my content enough. Why are you surprised? I'm this guy.
I'll violate all your personal space, bitch. I'm that cousin always on punishment. I'm not the nigga you can play with.
I'm not the nigga you could play with. But you surprised? You don't like it? Then don't put me up on your panels. I ain't pretending to be nobody else, and I've been operating this way the whole time. It ain't nothing new. So don't put me up on your panels. My speech is not going to be controlled. Until you start controlling their speech, you damn sure ain't going to control mine. Because I fought for my right and I fought for other people to have the right to free speech in this country. So I be damned somebody who ain't never fought it going to limit mine. I be damned. Offensive. So it's offensive. Crazy, man. Y'all don't, y'all don't, y'all could see the connection to going on a first date and getting kidnapped at that date. But what I'm saying is so far fetched for y'all. That's astounding. Grow a pair of balls, fellas. Stop allowing it because it's not going to get better. And then one day in the future, you're going to be like, V Ben Israel tried to warn me. Or I wish somebody tried to warn me. Why didn't somebody tell me? We're telling you. We're telling you. Stop participating in this foolish talk. Stop doing it. Not going to do it over here. Well, that's my riff off, man. I was a couple people popped in and out. I was going to drop the link. Um, I will. Well, let me see. Well, I mean, I'll give it a couple of more minutes. I had put the link out there a little bit, so I'll see if anybody decides to come up and wants to engage in this conversation and this riff off with me. It's totally impromptu, but we need to talk about this, man. You can't, again, y'all always talk equality, so it's only equal when it's to your advantage. You can have free speech, but the man can't. You can say what you want wherever you want, but the man can't. And even when the men are in men's spaces, not coming to a woman's space saying this, I'm in men's spaces talking to men. So if you come over to this space, you got to play by the men's rules. And if you can't handle that, you can't change those rules to fit women's sensibilities. That's not what's going on in the manosphere. Maybe a few of y'all young boys is doing that. Some of y'all simp type dudes, and you're not being honest that yeah, you're a simp. Cause see, that's the first cure to getting over being a simp is to acknowledge that you're doing it. We all have done it to some degree in our lives. But the ones who've gotten past it, they acknowledge that they did it. And that's where a lot of y'all drop the ball. You're not on your man shit. Your balls ain't dropped yet. Whatever. You ain't got off the porch. You ain't been off the porch long enough. All of them sayings, right? All of those kind of sayings. It's funny to me though. Um, it's very funny to me. I'm trying to do something. Oh, can I do it? Is that post or past? Oh, I can do it. Okay. What? I usually have somebody do that for me, but so let's see here. That's the link. Anybody wants to come up and have this conversation. We're talking about limiting men's speech or any other conversation. It's a riff off. We can freestyle. I'll give that a couple of minutes to see what happens. And if nobody's coming up, man, we gonna end it, man. We gonna end it. Like I said, it was totally impromptu. So I posted that link on posted it on the Speaks. I posted it on V Ben Israel YouTube page, and it should also show up on Facebook Van Johnson. So I think it should show up in all three places. I think I've done that correctly. If not, I'll have to experiment later and find out what I've done wrong. But I think I've done it the correct way. So I'm ready to bring anybody up who wants to come up. Anybody is welcomed. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe V is the bad guy. Right? Maybe I'm that guy. And I just can't be honest about it. Is that the thing? Is that what we're saying? I mean, because I thought I was the guy who said this.
You're all a bunch of fucking assholes. You know why? You don't have the guts to be what you want to be. You need people like me. You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy.
I'm the bad guy, right? You need people like me so you can point your fingers and say that's the bad guy. I'll be that. I'll be that, but I ain't gonna let nobody limit my speech. Especially when somebody is talking foolish. And y'all like to be polite and let them just ramble on and not answer your questions. They don't get that over here on the People's Channel. Men or women. Who did I run off of here earlier? Red Illusion. I don't do that bitch shit over here. That's disrespectful to me. That's what I find disrespectful. That disingenuous crap. Not gonna play them games over here, and I don't play them nowhere I go. So, hey, like I said, you don't like me on your chat, you can't handle it, it's too real for you. Hey, tell me, let me know. I won't come up no more. I won't even. I'll stop following you. But it is what it is. And notice it usually is bitch ass niggas and women that have the problems the most because they think alike. I be on platforms with a bunch of y'all men all the time, one on ones. We don't have no issues because we follow a certain code of conduct and we don't get sensitive. People say stuff I don't like all the time or I disagree with. I'm like, all right, that's cool. I'm gonna focus on the the 8 out of 10 things we do agree with. That's what I do. I focus on that. I don't fall apart because my daddy said somebody said my daddy was a punk ass. Yeah, he was. And a lot of our daddies were. They dropped the ball. If what I'm saying is not true, we wouldn't be having this conversation now because we're trying to clean up their fucking mistakes. And their mistake was allowing women to control, one of their mistakes rather, is allowing women to control their speech. Men be out in the garage talking and having a good time. As soon as a woman walk in, shh, 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 y'all gotta be quiet. Yeah, honey, what you need? Now I was just checking on y'all, see what y'all doing. She was monitoring your speech. You were down in the basement watching the game. Soon as a woman came down there, you got quiet. That's how these old men operated. Yeah, I just want to see if y'all need anything. She wanted to see if y'all was talking some shit and she was gonna say something. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying. Is this not what happened? Is this not what happened? I thought we was here to correct problems. That ain't no problem for y'all. Y'all cool with that happening? Because that's what's been happening. Y'all cool with that? But see, some of y'all been under it so long, you think it normal. You think it's normal. And it's okay and it's acceptable. Now, if the women in the kitchen talking and the man walks in, what you need, honey? You want something to drink? Go sit down. I'll bring it to you. They kicking you out. They putting you back in your place. Am I lying? Oh God, I wish somebody would come up here and talk. Am I lying about these things? So again, they're still controlling you where you go and what you hear because they didn't want you to hear what they was in there cackling about and buck about. Shout out to Coach Greg Adams. That chicken buck. Walk in that kitchen when there's a group of women in there and see if they don't get you out of there real quick. But let a group of men be somewhere they want to sit up under you and monitor what you're talking about. Am I lying? And want to talk this foolishness. They want to pretend like they interested in us and what we got to say. They're not interested. They want to monitor and make sure we ain't getting out of control. They're gatekeeping. You want to hear what women got to say? You ain't got to come up on a panel to hear what men got to say. You can sit in the chat and shut the fuck up and listen and learn in silence. That's not what they want to do. They want to get their point across. They want to explain. They want to tell you their stories and their anecdotal bullcrap that has nothing. Nobody care. We don't care. We've heard it before. I wish y'all stop asking them their opinions. Stop asking, especially when it's not relevant. We talking about first dates. Ask the men what they think. We've heard what the women have said. They didn't want to go out to Chili's and Applebee's and Ruth Chris and any of the chain restaurants no more. That's what the women said. The majority of them. It was a few that came out and said, nah, I don't agree with that. But the majority of them co-signed to it with their silence. And some of them verbally say, yeah, girl, yeah, you right. So until they majority of women come out and go against that talk, what you need to, what else you need to hear? You need to find that one to validate you the other way. Why? Why are we asking them? We've heard what they have to say. They got their own channels. Let them say what they got to say on their channels. The few did. Crimson Cure did 2 or 3 videos on this topic. Dee Messy Michonne. Why are we beating this dead horse with them? So I thought it was a good question to ask men. Well, what is your first? That's what one of the girl. Shout out to Raz Girl. Raz Girl came up there and asked. Well, they never offered the solution as where they should go. And what I said to Raz Girl is they never do. They always want to tell us what's wrong and what they don't want, but never what they do want. We've been hearing that all our lives. So here's the chance for you to give a solution. What is your first date? What does she do? She goes right to another problem. I don't feel safe. Well, stay your goofy ass at home then. That's the answer. That's the answer. But I'm wrong. Somehow I'm wrong. Cause I'm taking offense to this shit. And y'all ain't offended that again everybody came up with a first date scenario of some sort. We get to the white woman because she white. We get to the white woman and I'm unsafe. Well, if you ain't safe with black men, go back to the white men. Go back to them. Why you over here with us? Since you ain't safe. Cause yeah, black women and black men have done all of this shit to white women throughout the country's history, right? And in modern times, that's what's happening. We're more in danger being around you than you ever have been in danger being around us. That's the fact. Men have lost their lives dealing with white women or because of white women. Let's be real about it. I don't care that her son is black. It don't mean shit to me. Irrelevant because the police don't give a shit either. If we out somewhere, they ain't, and well, is your son black, ma'am? No, it ain't gonna come up. So it shouldn't come up in this conversation. It's irrelevant. It's totally irrelevant. Right? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I am wrong. Hmm. I don't know. Let's see what Real Bravado got to say about this. Hold on. Let me bring him on. See if I'm doing it the right way. RBN, did I get you? Yeah, hold on. I'm trying to bring you up. You know I'm blind. I mean, I don't just say that to be saying that I am blind. Let's see. Add to the stage. Let's see. RBN. Let's see. Is he on here? I ain't got him yet. Damn it. I'm goofy tonight. Hold on. I see you, brother. I'm trying to get you up here. Mm, it looks like I brought him up here, but remove from the stage. Um, he should be up here. Why don't I see him? Why don't I see RBN? Hold on, brother. I'm trying to bring you up. Shout out to RBN. He's coming up, man. He up here with me somewhere. I'm doing something wrong. Let me remove him from the stage and let me try to bring him back. Okay, let's try it again. All right. Add to, come on. Why doesn't it let me bring him up? Add to the stage. Okay, it looks like he should be up here. What am I doing wrong? But it says he's a participant. Am I going crazy? What am I? I've done this before. Why is it not working? Why is it not working? Um, RBN, are you not seeing me? It looks like I'm bringing you up, but it's not adding you. Okay, hold on. Let me go back. Something else happened. I'm talking shit, and I can't do this. Like, what am I doing? I've done this before. That's what's funny. All right. So let's see who else we got. All right. So he went out and came back in. Let's see. Boom. Um.
Hey, VBN, can you hear
There
me?
we go. I got you. Yeah. There we go.
Oh yeah, I tried to come on to my laptop, but I think because of where I'm at, the internet's real bad, so they ain't gonna let me do it. So I'm now on through my phone. So
Oh, okay, cool. Great to have you. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all watching. We got RBN in the house, Real Vital Network. His link is already in the chat. Amanaz provided that earlier. Make sure you subscribe to the Real Vital Network. What you got for me, brother?
so you talk I only heard the last of a few seconds because I just walked back in the room, but um you was talking about how dangerous it is for men to be around women.
Hold on one second. Hold that thought. We got 50K Theo Coop in the chat. What up, 50K? You coming up here with us with me and Real Bravado, man? What you doing, man? What you want to do? We gonna hold up the show for you, man. What you want to do? The link is in the comments already. If you want to come up, you are welcome to come up here with us. We just riffing off a little bit, and we would love to have
Oh,
you participate
oh,
with
Theo in
us.
the chat.
Yeah, Theo in the chat.
Okay, yeah, I can see him.
You see him? Yeah,
He
come
just
on up
looking.
here with us, brother. Oh, wait a minute. I'll drop the link again if you need it. Hold on. Wait a minute. We gonna make special got a celebrity in the house, y'all. We gotta make special rules for this dude. Shout out to the Do Better podcast. Theo Cooper's in the house.
You know,
Please
Theo,
drop your link to your chat. Oh, he's
right?
working. All right, he's just working. All right, I see you, brother. But look, drop your link so people can subscribe to you as they come in. We got two celebrities in the house. We got Real Bravado Network and we got Theo Coop, though. We got Theo Coop, the Do Better podcast. I love the way damn Theo laughs, man. That shit just tickles me. Every time I hear him laugh, I'm gonna get a copy of that. I'm gonna get a copy of him laughing, man. But anyway, yeah. So here, let me. Here's what it was. The brothers was asking the question, what as far as what is your ideal first date? So a couple of brothers had spoke and said, "Hey, here's what I think. We should go to lunch. We should go to brunch first before we go on a dinner date. If I'm just meeting you, then we get to the woman, and she starts. She doesn't answer the question, of course. She immediately goes into the well. I'm going to drive the car myself because I want to protect myself. I'm like, well, why you already got an exit strategy before you even go on a first date? Your first thing is fear and well, I could be kidnapped. Really? Kidnappers are taking you from Chili's in broad in the middle of the day or in the middle of the night. We're kidnapping fat white women from Chili's. That's almost 50. That's what we're doing. Come on now, let's get real. That is not a thing. Or am
Well,
I wrong?
yeah, no, I've never known somebody get kidnapped from a Chili's or a Olive Garden or anything like that. Um, First of all, I ain't going on no. I'm damn sure ain't for to kidnap no fat white woman. I mean, come on. I don't even see them
I
in no
mean,
kind of way.
but I'm wrong, and the guys got
No,
they of course.
no, for real, we've been actually. I had a chick who I wanted to take out, and she was like, I don't let guys drive me. I drive myself. And I was like, well, looks like me and you ain't going no damn where.
Right, yeah, whatever.
That was
You
it,
safe
it.
enough to spend my money and eat my food, but you
No, 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 no.
understand all this fear comes in
First of all,
afterwards.
if a woman wants to pull up and start talking like that kind of a stuff, even if I decide to go, then I come out with the fact that okay, so we just two people hanging out, so you got to bring your own pocketbook, right? I told my friend, bring your own pocketbook, and they'll be chick was like, what? I was like, yeah, bring your own pocketbook, period,
And
full
this is
stop.
why the brothers was saying we was on JVJ Network, and what he said himself is kind of in another podcast that said the same thing. I said let's go to brunch, so that eliminates all that fear talk. Hey, let's the first time we meet in person, we'll go to brunch. We'll keep it casual like that. But that's not what they want. They don't want that. And
Well,
also, I always recommend to young men specifically, you go to a restaurant that you normally go to and you like. Stop trying to make them comfortable because it's never going to work. They're never
well,
going to be happy. Go to a
here's
place where you feel comfortable and you like going. That way,
here's
if
the
anything goes wrong, you still had a
advice.
good time.
Here's the advice that I would give any brother out here, and this is just after just years of learning this stuff. If you want to go out with a chick and you suggest a place, suggest something, an activity, whatever the activity is, whether it be dinner, whatever the case may be, and she gives you pushback, that chick don't like you.
Exactly. That's what I'm getting at. And I said to the
That's the
guy,
end of that. That's the end of that.
don't
That's it.
ask
That's
her,
all.
hey, do you want to go to Applebee's? Say to her, hey, listen, I'm going to Applebee's Friday night. You want to go with me? I'll pick you up or you can meet me there. You take control of the situation. And then that'll eliminate a lot of this foolishness that we're seeing out here. And again, you're playing that you want to play the fear card. So we ain't never get an answer to the question.
These
And
women
then
ain't
it's
scared.
already
V
just
being these women ain't scared. They're fucking on the first date, on the first night. They're not scared.
exactly. But then they want to justify what they're saying. Well, my daddy, I'm like, I don't give a shit what your punk ass daddy said. And then all hell
Don't
broke.
know
Well,
to
what do
them.
you think of my
Most
father?
of them don't even know they daddy, so I don't hear all that.
I don't care. I call my own daddy, and he did a punk ass. Those
Give us
old
some,
men fucked it up, and then
but
gave
real,
y'all bad advice, and
but
now we
real
got.
quick, I'm at work, so I work in the hospital, so I gotta be kind of quick just in case they call me
Yeah,
because then I gotta dip out. But I want to talk about something about the fear of you said something about is we should fear being around you, and you heard me just say I work in the hospital, correct?
right,
So I do direct patient care, meaning
right,
I'm um I'm not a CNA or tech like not like that. I'm kind of up a little bit on the care part.
right.
Um, I had a whole argument with the ladies in my department because when I explained to them that I don't touch the women I gotta go see, they flipped out. They're like, "What do you mean you don't touch them? They mean you don't mean you don't do a full assessment?" Nope, I do not touch the women.
Because you got to protect yourself at all
And I
times.
right, and I told him I said, now when I'm assigned to the emergency room, that's different because you're not gonna get none of that bull crap because they're coming through the emergency room. A lot of times they too sick, too stressed out, too feeling too bad to give a damn. I'm telling you right
Right,
now, some of the finest women in the world, when they come through the emergency room, they'll strip naked in a room full of men that don't care. As long as they whatever that is stopping them from being
right.
feeling well, they want it to stop right then and there. They ain't got no shame in that point. And That's the only place in the hospital that I can actually work and do my job and do it effectively is in the
Right.
emergency room. That's why I only request to work there. But when I have to work out on the patient floor, I do, first of all, I do not go in a room and close the door, and I don't touch a woman. That means I'm not doing no blood pressure checks. I'm not doing no breath, listening through to breath sounds or your heart. I'm not doing none of that. I'm going there and I'm going to deliver the medication that I need to deliver, and that's it. And then once I give it to you, I leave the room. And a lot of ladies were like, and I told them, I said, the ladies get like, I can't believe you're not doing this. And I told them, I said, you can take that position because you will never be in a situation that I'm going to be in. And I've had women, patients make accusations. I have, and that stuff ain't fun. Once somebody labels
Yeah,
something or
all you
do
got it. All it takes is the accusation.
the accusation, I have I have zero tolerance with um females in certain situations. Zero tolerance. I'm never alone with a woman on the job.
Hmm.
I remember just about 2 weeks ago, I was in the office and I had a lady come into one of the coworkers come in the office and close the goddamn door. I flipped out. I said,
Wow.
open that motherfucking door. What you doing up here? Man, in my department, I'm one of two guys that work on a night shift. And every time I look around, one of these chicks is trying to close me up in a room with them. No, you ain't gonna close me up in no room. Hell no. Hell no. And it's always the middle-aged, sacky tit white woman that's doing
Yeah.
it.
Right.
The 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 middle-aged, 45-year-old saggy titty white woman.
Yeah.
They always trying to close me up in a room with them. Motherfucker, open the door. I get the cussing and everything. And I hurt they soul, boy. That's don't you ever come up in here and close a door open. It's just me and you out your damn mind. Mm-mm.
But the
I don't
guys
play
jumped
that.
on me. Oh, you were wrong for saying that, man. You wrong. I said, y'all allow her to come up here and paint us as being so dangerous that she could be in danger at an Applebee's. That's okay to spread. But me telling the truth about these older men giving their daughters bad information, which is true, y'all got to. I don't care how I said it. It needs to be said. Grow a pair of balls. Nobody asked them to come over here to the manosphere. They came over here willingly. But they
Believe it
knew
or
if they
not,
come
man,
over here,
a
they could
lot
get
of me, a lot of fathers get their daughters real bad. You think the mamas be giving them bad information?
you know
These
the
daddies,
dads, they the worst.
they the worst. They the
I
worst.
heard my stepfather give my sisters a bad advice. I've heard it firsthand. And
I
that's
be
why I
like,
always say to them, we got problems with the women, but we got more problems with correcting things that previous generations of men have put out there.
yeah,
They
man,
are the
they
ones that dropped the ball. And it wasn't our generation. Because see, the millennials and zoomers think, oh, y'all generations X did it. No, you got to go back to silent generation. That's where it started.
hmm
And they did it with their kids, the baby boomers. And now we're paying for it. And we're trying to help these younger guys now by comparing notes. But these younger guys want to fight us. Grow a pair of balls. They don't like how men talk and stay out the manosphere. I'm not changing my speech. Again, I gave the example before you came on. You remember back, you old enough, you like me about the same age. And you remember being in the basement doing Thanksgiving or out in the garage with the men, and a woman pops up and all of the men get quiet. Oh, shh. What y'all doing here? What y'all talking about? Right? Now, the same thing is true. Same holiday, the man go in the kitchen where the women at, they keep talking. And they'll run you out of that kitchen real quick. What you need? We can help you? Because you ain't allowed to hear what they're talking about, but they want to monitor what we're talking about.
yeah.
Am I lying?
I wish a motherfucker would in my house tell me to hush and girl.
But that's how them old women operated. What you need, honey? You want me? Oh, I'm thirsty, baby. I came to get a beer. Don't worry, I'll bring it to you. Go on in the living room. They'll be polite and classy with it, but they're still monitoring and controlling the flow of information. But them
Mm.
same old women, they'll come in. Like I said, I seen them do it. What y'all talking about? One of the aunties or something. down there watching the game with the fellas and doing fella talk. What y'all talking about?
None of your damn business.
None of your business. What you want? Can we help you? That's the real men that would say that, but a lot of your punk ass uncles that we had wouldn't say that. Done, baby. We all right. We good. Simping. I done seen it again. I'm 47. You what? 46, right? We late generation. Well, we ain't late generation X, but we almost damn 50-year-old generation X. We done seen this for decades, ever since we was little boys. Come on now. I see I got a couple people in the chat, man. What y'all think about this, man? Look, talk to me. Am I off? Is V wrong? I'm wrong? I think RBN dropped off because he's at work, y'all. So we got to give him a little grace right now. I'm gonna drop him down. He'll be back on if he can. He got an important job, so we gotta let him do his thing at work. He gotta get that money. Again, shout out to RBN. We appreciate him coming up. Always welcome here. Again, Theo Cooper's in the chat earlier. Definitely subscribe to both of their channels. Amanaz has provided us with our Real Bravado Networks link. If you can give us Theo Coop's link, we'll appreciate that too. Amanaz, if you're still here, we appreciate you. Number one host in the building, y'all. Number one host is in. Number one moderator is in the building. Amanaz has been moderating for me damn near a decade. So we've been doing, see, you're now rocking with the best. We've been doing this for a long time. And some of y'all see, I'm reposting my old videos. And if you watch some of them old videos, guess who is moderating them old videos? Amanaz. She always been here. We've been doing this a while, man. We ain't new to this. We are not new to this. Look like Real Bravado came back. Hold on. Let me see if I can bring him up. Yeah. You back?
Yeah, I hit the wrong goddamn button. That's all.
I thought you got called.
Yeah, I'm doing this shit on my phone. I ain't never done it on my phone before. But no, I was going to tell you, no, I'm late Gen X. Late.
Yeah, you like 46 though, right?
45.
Okay, so you're 2 years behind me, boo. So that means you were born in what? 77? 78?
8.
Okay, I'm born in 76, so we close.
Yeah, but we're late Gen X. I mean, that's Gen X is really through technically through 80, but I don't really consider myself a Gen Xer because I'm more of the next gen. Because at that point you're at the tail end. My mama's a Gen Xer.
You in there too, man.
Yeah, my mama's a full Gen Xer. Me and my mama 15 years
I don't
apart.
count them old people as Gen X. Them like 65, 66 in that group.
But they are. They're the.
To me, a lot of them behave more like baby boomers.
Yeah. Well, see, if they were born in if they're born in like 63, 64, they act like baby boomers. Pure Gen Xers are the Kevin Simmons. We're talking about 68 to 74, 5. That's a true Gen Xer. Did I lose you?
Left a comment in a chat. He says when I gave the example of Thanksgiving, I think this is what he's responded to. He says, I go through the same things, but only with black women trying to trap me in a room. Interesting. Very interesting. I mean, we all have these stories, especially if you're a relatable story that you understand what I'm saying. So I appreciate you sharing your story, man, my brother.
Yeah, black women don't fuck with me like that because they think I'm an angry black man who hate black women. That's how they'll talk
put
to
your
me.
aunties and your cousins in that same category.
They all treat me. Yeah, they all treat me like that because of the way I talk.
Still test me, even though they know me and I've been this guy for a long time. They still will get surprised and horrified. It's amazing to me. I'm like, I'm not your punk ass husbands. I'm gonna tell y'all what I think. Like, I don't know why y'all get horrified. My mama's birthday, and I don't celebrate birthdays, But what I do is my kids, I don't force my beliefs on my kids. So my cousins have been doing an annual cookout on the 4th of July for about 13 years now. So I always make sure my kids go. So and it gives them a chance to see their grandmother. So me and my mother is an instigator. She is so funny. She is an instigator. So she said something to me. I said, "Mom, fuck your feelings." And she talk about what? Why you say that to me? I said, "Ma, I got it from you." She says, "Oh, you know what? That is right."
Mm.
She had to admit it. I said, "I got that exact saying from you."
Yeah, the guy in the chat just validated what I was saying about the hospital.
Okay, really?
Yeah, he said, "What's going on in the hospital?" He's
You're
not
not
lying.
lying. Yeah,
Yeah,
no, I agree.
yeah, man. I
I
got
agree.
man.
Especially in your position, you gotta protect yourself at
Yeah,
all
man. These
times.
women, I don't fuck with them. I don't mess with them at
I
all. I
understand.
don't play no games with them. I don't play no games with them on the job. I don't play no games with them in real life. And people think because I got, a no nonsense attitude about stuff that somehow I'm like, mean or not nice. I tell a woman one all the time, you being my woman is a hell of an experience. Just
Right,
because I'm not going to tolerate your bullshit, that don't mean that you don't get treated well. You get treated extremely well with me.
right.
You get treated extremely well based on your behavior. If your behavior is trash, guess what? Guess what you're gonna get from me? You're
Hmm.
gonna you gonna get that work. Don't put me in a position to have to correct you like you a child. I don't want to do that. I will, I will, but don't put me in a position to do that. I don't know whatever you accustomed to out here. You're gonna find out real quick that ain't me. You either gonna ride, either we gonna roll the way we need to roll, or you gonna move around. Or I'm gonna move you around.
Right. Now, Lena just came in. Lena, this is Real Bravado. Real Bravado. This is Lena, aka Positive Vibes.
Hello,
He's
hey.
a frequent subscriber to the network here. But also, my man in the chat, he said he's thinking about getting a body cam. I'm assuming he works in the medical field like you, uh, RBN. So
Hmm.
and this is something I did a video on this last year
Yeah, I
where
used to I used to do that, but I got in trouble.
I recommended body cams for you guys in certain fields. I recommended that as well as the cameras for your home and dash cams. So definitely check out my chat. The name of the video was "Protect Yourself at All Times," and I may have done a body camera review. I may have done 2 videos. But if you
Yeah,
need
I used to
information
I used
on
to
that,
wear a body I used to wear a body cam here in the hospital, but then when they figured out it was a body cam, they politely requested me to stop wearing it.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean you got some covert ones too. You
No,
know,
it was covert. Somebody just happened to know what it was.
oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, that's unfortunate,
Yeah, but
That's definitely
I got
unfortunate.
sunglasses that got a camera built into them, and I don't play
Yeah.
that. Each one of my cars got dash cams in it. My sunglasses got a camera in it, man. I don't play that crap.
And that's a good point he's bringing up right now. So always check with your state laws, depending on what state you are in. You don't want to violate any. Some states
Well,
are two
here's the
part state where you got to have consent to record somebody. For
here's the
example,
thing. Here's the thing. Um, Federal law allows free recording in public. So when you talk about state law, you're really talking about inside of private institutions that you gotta get check out your laws inside a
correct.
private institution. But federal law allows
If you're in the
free
public space,
if you're in a public space, free recording it. Why you think they got all these CBT cameras and stuff like that? When you're out in public, the Supreme Court has ruled on multiple cases that when you are in public, you have no right to privacy, no
absolutely correct.
expectation to privacy in public. So you got to
Absolutely
assume
correct.
that when you're out in public could be governmental buildings, post offices, stuff like that. So it ain't just outside in the street. you know you assume that you're being recorded at all times.
Brothers. Well, Lena, what we talking about tonight, baby? How you doing?
Hello, how you doing, Mr. Izzy? Uh, I understand because I'm in healthcare, and my thing with body cams and stuff. I guess it depends. Like if I can wear sunglasses like that, I wouldn't mind it. Every time I think of body cam, I think of like body cam like how the cops have it, and I feel like that'd be uncomfortable to have to wear. You know?
Yeah, they are, and a lot of the body cams, like for security personnel and police officers, they're made to absorb a lot of impact and shock, so they're bulkier. But they make some that are covert and very skinny. Some look like a pin. Some look
Yeah,
you wear it in
mine
your
look like
pocket.
an N pin. Some like look like a clip-on button,
Yeah, the clip on. They make them in all kind of
like your
weird.
name badge. You know, with they have very very small ones that you can clip on. I have one that you can that it looks like a flashlight. It's a headband with a flashlight on it, but it actually has a camera in it.
Hmm. Then I wouldn't mind that, but I understand that.
And
Uh,
they're not expensive. So we're talking you could get decent ones for around $50
Or less.
or
Lot,
less.
yeah, mines were less than that. They were. I got them all off of Amazon.
oh,
I
okay.
mean, even with the cameras at home, and I used to before I retired, I was working for a company called CPI Security. I even
Mhm.
used to sell camera security systems back in the day when I was a store manager with Radio Shack, another time period. But in today's world, I used to recommend to my clients, yeah, these $700 cameras we're selling, they're cool. But I got a $30 camera that's better than a $700 camera you can get on
Mhm.
Amazon.
It's
Like,
starting to be it's starting to
huh?
become a necessary evil in a way. And I can understand like if I was a patient I wouldn't want cameras like being I wouldn't want to be recorded, but this day and age, I'll never forget like years ago it used to be a movie. It was called The Truman Show. I thought it was
Yep.
so stupid. I liked
Shout out
it,
to
but I
Jim
thought
Carrey, one of my favorite movies.
yeah, it was good, but in a way I thought the concept was nobody would do this, and here we are. People are
Well,
doing it,
I don't know if you remember you and I talked personally, and one time one of the things I said to you is TV will always prepare you for what's coming next. So
yes,
give it
that's
20
true.
years. Give it 20 years. That thing you saw on TV 20 years ago is reality today.
That's true. I'll tell you another one like that I thought was stupid. And I was like, oh my, I didn't say it was stupid, it was scary. And I'm like, oh my God, here we are. The technology is out here. I
Enemy of the
want
state.
to, you knew, you knew exactly where I was going. Enemy of the state. Yes,
Oh,
Will Smith.
Enemy State with Gene Hackman and Will Smith was
Yes,
perfection.
During the man, what's your name again? I'm sorry,
Lena. I'm sorry.
Lena. During when that movie was released, the NSA came out and said that the technology in that movie at that time existed at that time. That was real technology at that time. So just imagine how good it was then. Just, just imagine what it is now, and we're
Yeah,
like
he
15 years
said
past
that
that movie.
in that movie. Gene Hackman's character said, "Hey, this was 20 years ago, and I had this capability. Imagine what they have now, like you just said."
Yeah, because I heard now, I don't know if it's true, they can see through, like from the satellite, they can go through. It's no longer, oh, I can only see the top of the roof. They can actually see inside the house. And
Well,
Uh-huh.
what they've done is they've learned to actuate the satellites on an angle, so they can't just. In the beginning, they could only shoot the camera straight down, but now they can control them in a way where they can catch it on an angle. And now they've also added heat sensors to them and
And don't let's
infrared.
forget about the AI who does predictive imaging.
Oh yes, you got that now. Oh shit, yeah. Like so again, we when would that Will Smith movie come out? That was what, in the 90s or
yeah,
early
like
2000s,
99, 2000. Yeah.
Hold on, let
right?
me. I'm gonna look
Yeah,
it
look
up.
that
Hold
up. I'm
on.
curious. Great
It
movie,
came
man.
out in
Love the movie.
1998. God damn. It
Another
came out
great
in
movie. Will
1998.
Smith.
You hear me, V-Man?
Nah, what you
Mm.
say?
It came out in 1998.
I knew it was around there somewhere towards the end of the
Guess
90s.
what I just used to figure that out?
What?
AI.
Huh? God dog.
Chat GPT.
Yeah,
Oh,
so we're talking about technology from what we talking about? 24 years ago, 25? That's what the movie was talking about then. You know how fast technology and how much it has grown since then? Hell, all you gotta do is watch the Terminator movies. Terminator's kept up. And Terminator has been warning us about shit for years. With every generation of Terminator movie, they let you know. The most recent was what? Terminator Genesis? Like, come on. I mean, Skynet is a real thing. I mean, I don't we're building it now. We're living in that world that the Terminator movies were predicting. We're living in that shit now.
you know what's crazy though? I used to have this teacher. I had two teachers. One was my computer teacher, and he was actually a genius. He's actually a Mensa member and all that stuff. And then my other teacher was biology. He used to have this iWatch Robo thing at school. Like it was like a club or whatever. But what they were doing was reporting things that they saw about technology and stuff. And he used to always warn. He was like, "When do we cap technology?" He was like, "Eventually, technology is going to control us, and we become obsolete." And I used to think he was crazy as hell. I was like, "Dude, this dude is
Yeah,
crazy."
my man said in the chat, Japan is about 6 years or more advanced than us. I agree with that. It's not just Japan. China is that way too. And one of the reasons for that is their culture is more adaptive to technology. So, for example, I know over there in China, they don't even have regular stores anymore. Everything is so automated and controlled through their phones. And they
Hmm.
got a social media they call WeChat, I believe is the name of it. And WeChat is like Facebook on steroids. And they do everything through that app, that one app. Their banking, their Cash App kind of purchases, all of that kind of stuff is all done. So when they walk into a store, think Minority Report with Tom Cruise. They would
Hmm.
when he got the new eyes, he was walking in the mall and it was scanning the retina and it was offering him different products to buy. Well,
Hmm.
this is real now in China. They go in the store, they pick up things. There's nobody in the store like a clerk or a cashier. They pick up the things, it's automatically billed to their bank accounts through their phones, and they walk out. That's been
Yeah,
happening in China for about 5 years. So I
yeah,
could
they were
imagine.
trying to do that here and now with Amazon stores. I don't like that.
Yeah, well, Amazon was trying to do it with Whole Foods. That's what they were really trying to push it. But we have so many privacy laws here, they can't do what they can do in Japan and China because of our privacy laws.
Hmm.
Um, but it's coming. It's coming. What did I say recently on the chat? Retail is going away. There's
Yeah.
no in the next 5 to 10 years, you're not gonna be able to go in Walmart. If you want something from Walmart, you're gonna have to order it in every other store. You're not gonna
Hmm.
be able to go in a regular McDonald's or fast food type of press. It's all gonna be delivery. That's the way everything is moving. So
Yeah, we had that conversation before. I remember
remember
that.
I told you that, right?
Yep.
It's all coming together. All you gotta do is look at the movies. Uh
Hmm.
Demolition Man was one of those movies. The Truman Show, as you pulled up. What
Hmm.
was fascinating about the Truman Show was everything was for sale. Or the clothes he was wearing, the products. Remember, his
Hmm.
wife would always, because she was in on the joke, so she would always do them little like product pitches and stuff like. And he was like, "Who are you talking to?" You know, because she was selling to the TV audience. But
Hmm.
everything on the Truman Show was for sale. You could order it they would have like 800 numbers. Now you would have the internet. You could just punch in the product code and order the shirt that you saw Truman wearing. They've been
Hmm.
preparing us for this shit for a long time.
Yeah, see, I really thought the Truman Show prepared us for um, reality TV. Like your whole life is on
Yeah,
display.
it's that and more. Just don't stop there. Take it. It was QVC on steroids.
Yeah, it
Um,
really was.
They actually built a town down there in Orlando just outside of Orlando. Damn it, what's the name of that town? It's almost an exact replica of the town that Truman lived in.
Mm.
I used to have timeshare in the 90s down there in Orange Lake, Florida, and I used to have to drive by that town, and I just happened to get curious to see what it was. Sure enough, I went to that town. It looked just like the Truman Show.
Mm.
Everything Truman Show down to the real estate was for sale. So if you like that house that Truman lived in, you could buy
Mhm.
that shit in Orlando.
Mm.
They've been running. This was what? When did I have timeshare? 95. This is
Mhm.
1995. So you could imagine what they got in store for us now.
I swear
So
you lived a
they
life.
always preparing you. It's kind of a version of me RBN talked about on his network, Order 66. That programming is real. They've been programming all of us all of our lives to make
Mhm.
things acceptable.
Mhm.
And we don't even realize the how much to the extent. Um, I did a stream on this about a year ago talking about supermarket science. Have either of y'all ever heard of that shit? Supermarket science.
I think I heard about it. Yeah, I seen like a documentary on it, like how they
Yes,
do product placements and what will make
yes,
people buy, and like quick
yes.
grabs by the
So we
cash
all go into the
register.
store, Walmart, whatever grocery store, Kroger's, whatever you go into, Harris Teeter. We think all of that shit is positioned by accident. Absolutely not. They've been studying our patterns for decades. So, one
Mhm.
of the new things they've been doing in the supermarkets is they've been putting pepper, like black pepper, by the eggs.
Mm.
Pay attention next time you go in like a regular supermarket and go over there to the egg department, see if they got black pepper over there.
Mhm.
They do that because they've determined that it's a high likelihood if you buy eggs, what do you put on your eggs? Salt and
Pepper.
pepper. And
Another
they
thing.
know people always forget the pepper. A lot of people run out. You're gonna run out of pepper before you run out of salt.
Yep.
They studied us. They know they got heat sensors in the supermarkets to track our movements. So they know which aisle you're more than likely to go to when you first walk in a supermarket. So what do? Supermarket, you're more likely to turn to the what? Right.
Mhm.
More likely to turn to the right. They always going to have product placements to the right of you some kind of way. Always.
Mhm.
Walmart has even started moving their seasonal items to the right of you. When you walk in most newer Walmarts, the right of
Oh,
you is a seasonal
that is
aisle
so
right now with
true.
food stuff.
Because if I notice all the stores, and when you first walk into the store, uh, I guess it also depends which way you come in. Yeah, either way I come in, either at the Walmart, the stuff is to the right. Like the produce, as soon as you walk in, your produce is normally in the front. You notice
Right.
that,
And
right?
now they're starting to pair things up with each other. So
Yes.
um because they've been studying our patterns, like the pepper and the eggs, and you'll see things that'll be not in a normal aisle. You're like, wait a minute, why is this here? Because they know you if you buy this product, you're likely to buy that one too. They've studied this. Um, I was talking to somebody the other day about impulse items, right? Most impulse items are designed for women and children. So right by the register, it's going to be a bunch of candy. It's going to be items that women like to buy and kids like to buy. You're not going to see manly stuff like they used to. Walmart used to have big lighters and ashtrays by the registers. They don't have them there no more. Now, if you go to Walmart, the only time you're gonna find those things near a register is gonna be in the cigarette aisle number 4. But they used to be by every register. You could buy a pack of lighters. If you want a pack of lighters now, you got to ask them. They got it behind the register now. But it used to be right there by the conveyor belt. They don't put it there no more. They moved it.
Mhm.
Now you'll see a bunch of M&Ms and Kit Kats and whatever Kit Kat is the seasonal, because you know they've been doing seasonal Kit Kats. So right now it's pumpkin spice Kit Kats. Women are more likely to buy that than men,
That's true.
and they're gonna put that right by the register. I couldn't believe it. I just happened to be in the store with a woman who picked. She was in front of me, and she picked it up and was like, "Hey, that looks good." And I looked at it like a pumpkin spice Kit Kat. That looked nasty to me, but she thought it looked good.
Oh, I am a pumpkin spice. Oh, I love
Most women
pumpkin.
are.
Hmm.
Just in time for that pumpkin spice season, Dunkin' Donuts has rolled out their no, not Dunkin' Donuts, it's IHOP. IHOP is now selling their coffee in the supermarkets
Mm.
in time for the holidays. And they got the K pies, they got any kind, however you want your coffee. IHOP has that's big business now. IHOP got it. Um, Dunkin' Donuts been had it, and a lot of other these like pretty soon Burger King. I haven't seen this one yet. Burger King has their Cup of Joe coffee brand. You're gonna see that
Hmm.
in the market soon too.
I never
But
asked. Are you a coffee drinker or no?
I'm a tea drinker.
Tea drinker.
Yeah.
Lipton.
No, actually, my preferred tea is Tetley.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's when I'm making sweet tea. 90% of the time, it's gonna be Tetley. I'll do Lipton every now and then. Now, if I'm drinking hot tea, it doesn't matter. I'll do Tetley or Lipton.
Hmm.
Um, it just depends on where I'm buying my tea at. Sometimes you can't find Tetley like the round tea bags, which is the ones I like. The round ones, you can't always find those. Usually Walmart is tricky in Walmart, but I go to a Harris Teeter or a Food Lion and get them all day long. But anyway, it just
Mm-hmm.
depends on what I buy. I'm not that particular, but Tetley is my go-to. I like Greater Value. Greater Value Walmart brand, their
Mm-hmm.
tea is good too. Usually Great Value products are pretty good. They're pretty close or better than the name brand. In my experience. Um, he said something about they have batteries. No, Walmart. What they've done is they've moved the batteries. It used to be by the register, but now the batteries are in a big kiosk. It's close to the register, but it's not in the direct aisle like where the candy is by the register. They moved it out a little further. The batteries. You got a whole battery kiosk now. At least Walmart has. I know Walmart has done that. Walgreens has done it that way now. They then you can't just get like a pack of triple A's at the register no more. You got to go to the kiosk and get your batteries. Um, but I get your point. What else did he say? He said something else before that. Hold on. Appreciate y'all being up rocking with me and engaging with me tonight. I was getting ready to get off of here and everybody came up on here with me. So I'm gonna keep rocking. As long as y'all rocking with me, I'm gonna rock with y'all because y'all the people and I'm the people's champ. You better act like you know.
You rocking, I'm rolling.
I'm gonna rock with you. Right, we gonna rock as long as you rock. Oh, so anyway, Lena, I was on JVJ Network's channel earlier, and is RBN still here? Did he drop off? Anyway, he might be working, so he might be muted right now. I'll leave him alone for now. But anyway, I was on JVJ Network, and your girl Embrace the Grace came up on the panel, or she was on the panel, and the question that was asked, CJ was running the panel. It was CJ's night, and the question he asked was, "What is your ideal first date?" And this was in response to the list that women came out with, all of the places a man shouldn't take a woman on a first date. So this is what we were responding to. But he posed a good question. Now Raz Girl was there too, and she said, "I think the list is stupid, and I think it should really just be about getting to know a guy." And blah blah blah. And we agreed with Raz Girl. Here go Grace. It's her turn to answer the question. She immediately goes into, well, I'm going to drive myself in case something go wrong. Why did you automatically go to something going wrong and you got an exit strategy? Why? Who the hell is kidnapping women out of a restaurant? in the middle of who's doing that? You
It's not
ain't
that they're
never heard that
kidnapping.
happen in your
I
life.
do advise to drive yourself though. I not even just for safety reasons, expectation reasons. I hear horror stories, so it didn't even have to be kidnapping.
But
So
that's what she went to. I understand your point, even though I disagree with it. I could understand where you're coming from, right? But here's how men perceive it. If you're so offended and so scared or so scared of me, why are you eating my food? So you're safe enough for me to go pay for your food, but you're not safe enough to ride in my car. But at the same time, you feel safe enough to ride in an Uber with a complete stranger. You ride in a taxi cab with a complete stranger. Women have
Hey,
been doing this all my life. Now,
Ben.
all of a sudden, she's terrified that somebody's going to kidnap. That's the first thing you go to. And again, remember the question is, what is your ideal first date? Why did this need to even be brought up? Why couldn't
Hey,
you just say what
Ben.
the place is?
Ben.
Yo,
I got a question for the sister.
go ahead.
Okay, so you said something about expectations. So when a dude is asking you out, what do you think those? What are you are expecting when he asks you out? What are you actually expecting?
I'm expecting for them to get to know me and to invest as far as a conversation. Invest, equally as I should invest to see where this leads.
Oh, invested. What do you mean by invest?
Like invest your time, effort, that type of
Okay. What is the for him? What is the guy? What is the goal?
the goal. Well, I would like for the goal to be a relationship and to go further.
Right. So when you are accepting an invitation from a dude, and you said that you should drive because of expectations. The expectation is all of those things. Is the investment into is the get to know you stage, which is hopefully leading to the ultimate goal of getting you naked. The expectation of getting you naked is always there. Now there might be more steps to that process. But as a lady, you have to understand that if we're going to be if we're going to be trying to give you a piece of our time and take a piece of yours, the ultimate end is to see if this is worth trying to get you naked. So I think a lot of ladies don't really fully understand. They don't understand the steps all the way through. Now, but I'm not saying that the guy should be expecting to get you naked the first time he see you. As we already know, that happens a lot. However, but if you're not going to drive because you don't want the guy to think he's going to get anything from you on the first date, that's kind of putting the cart before the horse a little bit, because that's always the expectation when we're approaching you. Now, how you decide to present that opportunity to us, that's another thing. That make
and
any
that's a
sense?
good point you make it, RBN. And I've kind of gave a similar response to a woman, and I said it because the woman kind of said something similar to what Lena just said. Well, I want him to get to know me, right? And but like you just asked, what does the man want? Men, if the man is heterosexual, I ain't talking about gay dudes. Men want sex. Understand that's what they want. What we're wired that way. We want sex. Getting to know you or not actually getting to know you may discourage us from wanting to be with you. So men start out wanting sex. We don't have to get to know you to want sex from you. We start out wanting sex from you. You know, that's how. No, then the girl wanted to give me pushback. Not all men. Yes, all heterosexual men want pussy. We like pussy. We love pussy. We want pussy. Let's be grown folk about it. And a lot of women, as RBN just stated, they struggle with that understanding. All men don't want sex. Yes, they do. They just not being honest with you. Yes, they do.
The
Money
date.
is
Hold on,
expensive.
the date for a guy is to figure out if we're willing to spend the capital that it takes to get it
Right.
from you.
Money, energy, attention, time. It's all the same thing to us. Whether we
Yeah.
spend
So a
money,
lot of ladies don't
energy,
understand like your
attention,
price.
or
We
time.
go out with you. We do that. We go out with you to see whatever the price you set for your exclusivity to your body. We go out to see if we're willing to pay that price.
That makes sense, Lena, what he's saying and how he's saying it to you?
Yes, I see sex as being part of it.
So whether you drive or not is the point he's trying to make. Whether you drive or not, it ain't changing nothing. It ain't changing it. So
Yes, I
so we could
yeah,
play this game. You drive.
but some
You
men.
drive.
Mhm.
Why not you drive?
I don't
You
want
going
to
out on the
drive.
first date. You don't want him to drive you. You drive him.
I don't want to drive him either.
Why not?
Um, because it depends, like the setting. If it's somebody that
First date, you've been talking on the phone for a couple of weeks. First date in person.
and I don't know this man from Adam, I don't want him in that car.
Who do you know for Adam? You could know somebody 10 years and not really know them.
That's true, but you feel like you have a rapport. Like, hey, so and so
Again,
knows him.
that word I hate, and I keep trying to get y'all to stop using it. I feel. The
Oh, I feel
definition of a feeling is a belief, especially a vague and irrational one. It's
if
not
if
logical.
if I go out with somebody I knew for 10 years, and I know, hey, I might not know
Jeffrey
him.
Dahmer was living next to people and he was eating bodies, and the people that lived next to him didn't know. They thought he was the nicest guy in the world.
I'm not. It depends on well they know him. Like I could say, oh,
They knew him. They seen him every day. They thought he was a great guy,
mm,
but he was chopping up bodies and eating them. You don't really know a person is my point. Not
I'm
really, not really until you live with them,
I'm
really.
sorry. I don't want them in my car.
People
I don't
pretend,
want.
people pretend to be what you want them to be.
That's true. I
And
agree.
so it doesn't matter. You could play that game for 5 or 10 years. There's still, if somebody means you harm, they mean you harm. They'll wait 5 years to get it. That's what predators do.
Yeah.
So, like, and like I'm saying, and like I tell women all the time, you're living in the safest time in history on the planet for women.
Mhm.
What are we talking about? Again, a woman getting kidnapped out of a damn restaurant. I've never heard of this. So
It's
for that
still
to be
it's
go
still not a
to
problem to
war,
have precaution, even though the safer time doors come with locks for reasons.
say what?
Even though it's the safest time, doors comes with locks for
So you think the
reasons.
lock is going to stop somebody? If somebody walks up to your door, remember I used to design security
It
systems.
won't stop, but it will deter. At least give you a warning, like, oh,
No,
I hear my door.
it ain't. If somebody kicks your door in, you ain't got no warning. You ain't gonna
Mhm.
react to it like you think you're gonna react to it.
True.
And it's more likely to happen in broad daylight than at night. I mean, again, I used to design these security systems for people's homes, and the fears that people would share with me were just unrealistic. It was just unrealistic. I had this lady one time. This lady was crazy. She wanted 6 security cameras on the front of her house. I'm like, why, ma'am? Because I want to feel safer, she said. I said, ma'am, you staring at your neighbors on a tablet all day is making you safe? Is that what you think?
Right.
Like you're talking ridiculous now. If you really want to be safe and protect yourself, put a camera on the inside of your house. That's what we recommend. But putting a camera on the outside of your house ain't really making you safer. It's just making you be a nosy neighbor. Most people, the way they usually got it pointed across the street at their neighbors, or they got it pointed in their backyard somewhere at some shit in their backyard. They're not really doing it
Yeah.
strategically.
Uh, Miss Lena, for a second there, and I'm not making this personal. I'm just kind of being general with my
Yeah.
thoughts about what you're saying, Lena.
Oh
This
no. Oh, go ahead.
so I went on. I was going to go out on a date with a lady who insisted on her driving. As as a any guy that you would find eligible when you put up this roadblock, or I wouldn't say when you put up this requirement, it comes across as if you're difficult. Now we understand the safety and all that good stuff, but I'm trying to get to know you. I'm putting myself out here, and before we can even get to any place, before we can even meet up, you're being difficult because you actually have a good number of to a degree, traditional minded men to a degree out here who believe in, for me, if I'm going to take you out on a date or Almanize out on a date or anything like that, I believe even though we don't have any history with one another, the fact that I'm taking you out makes me responsible for you from the time I pick you up to the time I deliver you back to your home. And if you're going to interrupt that natural order of wanting me to protect you,
Right.
that means you're going to be that difficult during the relationship. I won't be able to do that
You're
during a
creating an
relationship with you.
awkwardness,
Huh?
and they're creating an awkwardness and a uh um you know it's a poet, Sonya Sung. I know you know who Sonya Sung is. Sonya Sung did a poem in the 90s, Run Free or Die. And one of the things she said in that poem is your forever ever mind is constantly protecting you from things you no longer need to be protected from. So women are making up these scenarios in their heads that ain't happening.
Oh,
And
well,
then
it
it's
happened
making
to
the
me.
man
So,
feel uncomfortable. He like, wait a minute, why you being difficult? I'm trying to
oh,
spend my money on you. I'm trying to take you out. I'm trying to show you a good time.
oh, it happened to me before. So that's why I'm like,
When has it ever happened that a man has hurt you in a restaurant?
oh, not hurt me in the restaurant. He most likely not gonna hurt you in the restaurant, but
Yeah,
not as far as danger. What
yeah.
happened to
And
me
just
was
because,
I had a creeper. Oh my god! And I was fixed up with him. With I
Can't
was
make this shit up.
suggested
You can't
this.
make this shit up.
I,
I swear to God, you can't make this up. Where's my
he
damn?
picked me up.
Ooh,
I
you
thought he.
can't make this
I thought I
up.
was.
God damn it! You can't make this shit up!
let her
My
get
cat
let
earlier.
her get it off. V man, let her get it
Earlier.
out. Let her get it out because we and you on the same page, but let her get it out.
I was suggested this person, my friend's boyfriend at the time, this came her husband, whatever, suggested his friend. I was like, okay. And I felt it was safe. He can pick me up from my house. I mean, I ain't think nothing of it. I got in the car. We're going to the date. I was talked to him a little bit before. Get in the car. This dude wants to touch my breast, pulled over before the date. And I'm like, what? And I could see if I had something provocative and my breast was out. No, this was creepy. I was like, yeah, I will never get in a car with a guy again that I don't know.
So basically, what you're saying to me is because you had this bad experience, everybody else has to pay for what he did.
Um, it's a preventative measure. The
No,
same
no.
with I've
So
seen other women
this
have it
person,
too.
this person. So I had a woman cheat on me. So because I had a woman cheat on me, you have to pay for the fact that that woman cheated on me. Is that fair to you?
Not pay, but be precaution. And I had, and I,
It's in your mind it's precaution. For me as a guy, see, a lot of times we don't step into the other person's side of things. For me, it's paying. Why do I gotta pay for what he did? That was him. And the one thing about life, and I tell people this all the time, that we have to come to terms with, and this is harder for our ladies, and I understand it to a degree. No, life is risky, and the most risky part of life is people.
mhm,
You have to understand that going in. And if you sit around and you will block your blessings because you know, one individual jack off, went across the line, but now you're going to make who's potentially a right fit for you pay for them, and you don't understand how what you're calling precaution is impacting the person that might be good for you. Like for
mhm,
instance, if I'm a protector kind of a dude. I'm a little bit traditional. I want to pick you up. I want to show you a good time. I want to get to know you the right way. I want to deliver you home. And I have a lot of the quality. Let's say I got 90% of the qualities that you like, but because you singularly wanted to interfere with how I move as a man, and you're interfering with that because of what somebody else did that had nothing to do with me.
Mhm.
I'm not saying being crazy. I'm not saying being carefree because there are naive ladies out here. I'm not saying be carefree
Mhm.
at all, but you
Here's what I
cannot move through
told
life.
my daughters and sisters
You
when it
can't
come to
move
this.
through life making people pay for what other people do. Otherwise, we wouldn't go to work. We wouldn't get in a car. We wouldn't go to the grocery store. We wouldn't do anything. We get on airplanes, and we know airplanes fall out of the sky. That don't stop us
Mhm.
from going. We know cars crash. We know they break down. That don't stop us from getting in them.
Mhm.
Here's
But
what
when it
I told my daughters this. Well, imagine anyway, my oldest daughter. I've told my sisters this. I got 6 sisters. If you're going on a first date, take a picture of the license plate. Take a picture of the car. Let
I
the
do
guy
that.
know what you're doing. Hey, I'm going. We're going out. I just want my brother to know, or I want my dad to know. Here's the description of your vehicle.
Mhm.
That's
I
how
do
you.
that.
KV then, this goes to how critical of a mistake it was when we removed men from vetting other men for our female family members away
Oh
out
yeah,
of the.
yeah.
This is the result of that. So, like, once
No
upon
doubt.
a time, and this is even before I was born. I think I might be a little bit older than you, but even this was even before I was born. Once upon a time, if you wanted to take a lady out, even if she was an adult lady, if she didn't have a husband, if you wanted to take her out, you had to go knock on her father's door and ask.
No, you had to get permission for the father before you even went to the door, or the brother, or
Yes.
some man who was looking
No, no,
out
I'm
for
talking about
you.
you got to go. You got to. When I said you got to go ask that father, knock on the door, ask that father.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You had to think good not good the Godfather. When Michael was over there in Italy, when he wanted to date Felonia, he had to go to the restaurant where the dad and the brothers were and get permission.
And
He
let me
had to
tell you
get
something. And if
permission.
and if you and if you skirted around that, my goodness.
Nah,
Woo-hoo.
the brothers came outside with rifles. They was in playing. That's how courting used to be in a lot of communities today in demographics. You can't just roll up in the neighborhood and talk to somebody's woman, talk to the women in that neighborhood. Chicago is like this in a lot of ways, Lena. You from the south side, we ain't letting the west side dudes just roll up in our neighborhood.
Territorial, yes. And even on the
Exactly.
south
You
side,
know what I'm
within the
talking
south
about.
side, certain spots of south sides, they like to, like if you from
Yeah,
CHANNE or if
well, I
you
know
from
what
old
on the
block, you can't
side I
come from
live on.
over. Yeah, they're very
Especially if
territorial.
you're a pretty girl, the dudes in the neighborhood kind of look out for you already.
Hmm.
Who this cuz? Who this? Who
Yep.
you? Where you from, man? Who your people?
And who really got it bad to me is the Latinos. Oh my God, you go in the wrong
Over
Latin
in Los
neighborhood.
Angeles, going to any Latino communities, Texas, Los Angeles, same thing.
You
Yo,
might
I,
not come
who
up. You might
this
not make it
is?
up out of there. You might not make it
as
up
a
You
out of
black
going
there.
over
man,
here and
you
say,
cannot go in them neighborhoods like that at all.
right. But I mean, this is how we've always operated.
They'll be
So,
like, "Who you is?" As soon as you hit that, that's exactly what they say. Who you is?
but I mean, and I get what RBN is saying because I agree with him. I use the example. Have you ever been in a car accident?
Yeah, I've been in a
But
car.
you still drive though.
Yeah, driving. Yeah, I was driving.
You still drive even though you've been in a car accident.
Mhm.
We still get on planes even though planes crash, trains derail, but we still
Mhm.
do these things every day. Those things are more likely to happen than what she was thinking somebody's gonna kidnap her from a restaurant. I mean, that's how. But my whole thing, my problem was, why? How did we get there from your ideal date to a worst date scenario? How did we get there? And that's what Raz Girl was trying to say. Like, why is it? Why we always gotta go to the worst case? And and here's the problem, and this kind of ties to what RBN is saying. I found it offensive that your first thought of a black man, because she's in a space with black men, is that we're dangerous to you, then why the fuck are you here?
I don't think it's just black men though.
No, no,
Right.
no. It is black men. That she's talking to a group of black men. She wasn't talking to no white men. She's talking to a group of black men who's asking her, "What is your ideal date place? We want your opinion." And your first response is, "I don't trust y'all. I don't feel safe around y'all." Then why are you here?
I understand where you come from. Like you can see it. Like I'm trying to put myself in a position. Like would I feel that way with a if a white guy would say? I'm trying to think of a scenario,
But you
but I
don't operate
feel.
in white guy spaces, so don't put yourself in that scenario.
Oh
She's
yeah.
purposely choosing to operate in black male spaces.
Hmm. I
That's
see.
her preference in men. She tells us all the time her son is black, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, would you want this? Would you want somebody doing this to your own son? Is the question. Do you want somebody treating your son like they're scared of your son and all he doing is trying to take a girl on a date? That is one of the most innocent things a boy could do. He likes a girl and he wants to take. He done saved up his money from cutting grass and he want to take her to Applebee's. And you over here thinking the boy is gonna kidnap you or something, or do something harmful to you.
And that
That you know
won't
what that
happen.
kind of
I don't
trauma
think
can
that
do
would
to a
happen,
young
especially
man.
like no. Yeah, I wouldn't think they'd be like you overdoing it because she. It's just
But it's
a
no
day.
matter what age the man is, whether he's 19, 29, 39, 49, it's the same trauma. It's kind of like somebody following you around in a store because you're black.
All right, I
It's the
understand. And
same
then
kind
I
of
feel like
behavior.
y'all know each other. It was a high school. Y'all kind of know each other
Whether
prior.
you went to one high school, he went to another high school, what difference does it make? But I flipped it, just like you said, hey, I don't want to ride in his car. I don't want to pick him up at, I don't want him picking me up at my house. Okay, why not say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna be on your side of town. I'll come get you from your house. What's wrong with that?
Yeah,
Because
let me
a
give you
man
a
is
more
trying to do some
let
harm
me
to
give you
you.
more
Ain't
let me
gonna
give you more
do
of an extreme and a more extreme example. I'm going to use our girl Almanize as an example. You okay with that, BBN?
Yeah, yeah, of course. We know
Okay,
Amanaz. Yeah, we love Amanaz. Yeah.
so I'm in the Midwest. Okay, Almanize is in South Carolina, and I
Northwood.
go, Almond, you know what? We've been talking on the phone for a few months. You know, I want you my personal space. I'm gonna fly you out. I'm gonna bring you where I'm gonna bring you to Missouri where I'm at. I'm gonna bring you to St. Louis. If she opens her mouth and say, I said I'm gonna bring you to St. Louis and I'm gonna put you up where whatever, whatever. If she gives me any pushback, if she says anything other than when is this happening, I'm done with her.
You know what, RB, and I had that situation with a friend of mine. She called me about 3, 4 years ago, and I told Lena this story. Amanaz knows it too. I'm gonna tell you. She asked me why this guy wouldn't come see her. He was from Cleveland, and she lived here in Charlotte. But I knew her from back in Jersey, so I've known her for a while. Very pretty woman. And why wouldn't this guy come see me? It was in the middle of COVID. She wanted the guy to come fly down here in the middle of COVID, get a hotel. So what the guy asked her was, well, where's your daughter gonna be this weekend? Well, she gonna be here with me. Where would she? What else would she be? I said, that's why he didn't come, because you gave him that pushback. You want this man to spend $1,500 to come see you in the middle of COVID, and you ain't even guaranteeing. The hell with pussy. You ain't even guaranteeing that he gonna see you because you got your daughter.
Hmm.
That's why he didn't come. She didn't
Yeah,
understand.
and it'd be more of a fear thing for Almanize to fly halfway across the country. But if you are trying to accomplish something, you got to take the risk. Like Almond would have to take the risk. And if she gave me any pushback, I just say, "Hey, I'm flying you here. I'm gonna put you up in my. I call my home 2,700 square feet of comfort. I'm not telling you I'm gonna put you up in my crib, but if you won't come and make the
Effort.
take a chance,
Right.
Oh no, I can't. I can't put that. You're too difficult. I ain't got that. I ain't got that kind of time. I'm not saying Lena, you are, but I'm just
Well,
giving
let
you
me
some
tell you something,
food.
brother. You make that offer, I will drop her off at the airport my damn self. I'll find a way to get her to the airport. She be out there so damn fast.
I'm just saying. Yeah,
Because I think people who
yeah.
have a
I'm just.
connection, you can't lose that connection. I don't care where the person's at. You
We're,
don't
we
meet
are. We are.
somebody, especially what you do every day.
We make a lot of decisions based on fear. Men do it. Men do it too, Lena. So
Yeah.
don't think it ain't just women. Men
No,
make
I
decisions
know it
or
too.
don't.
I know men do it too. And I
Or
said this to
don't.
a guy one time. Do you think your girl, the woman for you, is going to be happen to be located in a 4 square mile radius of you? Is that what you think? What if your special woman is somewhere else? What if she cross country? What are you gonna do? Oh man, I don't know if I can do that. Oh, why? What's the worst that can happen? You go see a city you've never seen before. That's the worst thing that can happen to you. Come on.
But no, but that was an extreme example. So I understand, but this is just food for thought. And anybody else that any other lady that would ever hear this, it's just food for thought. That moving in complete fear can also block your blessing. You know what I mean? You don't want to
Oh
ever
yeah,
do that. You don't
all
ever
day
want to do that.
long. Oh,
You don't ever
I
want to
tell
do that.
these young
I
guys
mean,
that all the time.
let me tell you something. And if you out with somebody or you see or something don't feel right, get out of the situation. Don't hesitate. Bounce. Whether that joker brought you there or not. Uber's a real thing. It's always the next Uber ain't number 4 minutes away most of the time.
I got 6 sisters and a bunch of female cousins. I've never had a problem where one of them had to call me. Oh, excuse me. The one time where Ebony had the flat tire in my mother's Suburban. That was the one time. In all of these years, not one of them, and it's a bunch of them, have ever called me because they had a problem with some dude on a date. I mean, I'm not saying it can't happen. It's just unlikely.
Yeah. And if
Can't
and if
operate in
and if you get a
fear of that.
knucklehead, if you get a knucklehead, that's just him. And we're not all. Most of us are not knuckleheads.
And most of these dudes who pretend to be knuckleheads ain't knuckleheads. They not the tough guys they play to be. Trust me.
No.
I ain't met
Yeah.
nobody crazy
That
like
dude.
me yet.
Getting handful to tell you off the rip. Something wrong with that brother. He could at least got you a drink.
Yeah,
That
but
was
see,
he
that
was
was
out
a
of
guy
order.
she
Yeah.
already had. She had connection to that guy already. He wasn't a stranger,
Well,
right?
no. I'm not saying he was drinking. I'm
No,
just
I'm asking her,
talking off the
right?
cuff. No, they were in the car. They-
No, no,
He
no.
picked.
She got
He picked.
introduced to him by her sister's friend or somebody, right?
Yeah.
Lena
What you say? I'm sorry, because I was at
said
work.
your
Somebody.
sister's friend introduced you to that guy.
Yeah.
So you know who I would have had a problem with? My sister's friend.
Yeah, I had a
And I would have called him immediately.
oh, I
Yo,
told him. Yeah, I told him
uh,
like how the date went. It was
no, no,
my
no, no. I would have called him in the car. Yo, your
yeah, it was my
boo.
friend's boyfriend. He had hooked me up with one of his friends. I was like, yeah. I told him how to. They was like, oh, we're so sorry, Lena. We didn't know he was gonna do that.
No, what
I
you
was.
gonna do about it? That's what
Yeah.
I
That.
wanted. That's
What
like
you going?
RBN is my boy, and I hook him up with a girl, and then cause now I vouch for RBN now. He on my, I'm vouching for him. Now he go out with somebody I introduce him to him, and he grabbing titties. Like what? I'm
I,
pulling up immediately. Yo, bro, we got to talk, man. What's up? What you mean? What's up? You grabbing titties out here? What's going on?
What kind of fuck shit you on, man?
Right, immediately. This ain't no after date scenario. The date don't continue. The date is over. The date is over at this point. Nah. And now, unless you gave some kind of weird signal to him, which I can't imagine,
I was so
he was not
irritated.
that seasoned with her titties. Come on,
I
sis.
can hear it in your voice. You're still irritated. I don't blame you.
Yeah, you hear, right?
Yeah, I still heard it. Oh,
I don't blame
No,
you.
but my point is, we're still missing the point.
but
The
I don't know
point,
what am I doing wrong. I wouldn't even dress a provocative.
It
I
doesn't.
could see.
Stop making
it don't
Stop
matter.
trying to place blame on you when he was the one who was at fault. Don't
Yeah,
we
in that
do that a
scenario, the
lot?
man is not appropriate. I don't care if you was butt naked. Men still got to conduct themselves, just like me and RBN was talking about that earlier. How you heard a little bit of that conversation with how he operates on his job. Men have to operate a certain way. You can't be out here just grabbing titties. I'm sorry.
No,
That
you're at the
nowhere, no
strip
way you
club.
got you can't do that in a strip
Hey,
club.
hey, hey! You can't just go grab titties at the strip club.
Yeah, that's
Hmm.
what I just said.
You can't
You
even do
can't
it at
do
the
that
strip
nowhere.
club, and the girl is naked in front of you, and you can't reach out and touch nothing without her saying, "Come on here, grab this." Go to a strip club and grab a handful of titty and see what happens.
Oh, they're
You
gonna
better
break your
not.
arm.
That's gonna be bad business for that brother. You gonna get them foo fops put on you, boy. You do that. And I've been to a
Um,
whole lot of strip clubs redeemed. I've seen a but two to grab some to grab. You
Now I'm gonna give you the flip side of
find
that,
out
Lena.
real quickly how.
Lena, I'm gonna give you the flip side of that. I had a girl grab my dick on the first date once,
that's weird. What the hell? I would be like,
and we guess where we was at when she did it. We
where?
was standing in line at Walmart.
Oh, she is crazy.
I keep telling y'all that Walmart is the evil empire. Stay out of there.
I love Walmart. I
So,
like Jewel though.
but
Jewel's my
but
favorite.
I'm not scared to go out on a date with you because this chick grabbed
You in
my dick.
Chicago?
Yeah, I'm in Chicago. I'm
I'm
actually
not
in
Yeah,
the
because you
scared to
burbs
go
said
in
out on
Jules.
a
Chicago.
I'm
date
from
with
Wisconsin.
you because
You
my
Where you
from?
at?
ex-wife.
Bolingbrook or somewhere?
I'm south. I'm in Hazel Crest.
You in Hazel Crest? Okay, so I'm originally from Wisconsin, from Racine, just south of Milwaukee. So
Hmm.
yeah, you said Jewel. I knew you had because we got Jewel all the way up and down that corridor. Yeah,
Hmm.
Jewel Osco because they merged with Osco. So
Right.
you know I'm from your neck of the woods.
Yeah. And
Hmm.
you know, from Chicago, we at the S. It's Jules.
Now,
Yeah.
I'm not scared to
Yep.
go out with you because my ex-wife hit me with a bottle in my sleep.
Mhm.
That wouldn't be fair to you.
Your
That was a
ex-wife hit you
point
with a
of
what?
view.
She ran you over with a car.
She
She
hit me
might
with a
have.
bottle
Your
in my
ex-wife.
sleep.
Yeah, she a bitch. She the ops.
Real talk. They had to put 7 staples in my head. Yeah.
Damn.
But
She make me
I'm not gonna
mad.
hold Alina
I'm
accountable.
not even you, and I'm mad for you. She make me have some real animosity every time you mention stories about what she did, and she had it good.
You ain't even heard half of them.
She definitely the ops.
You ain't heard half of them.
You sound like the stories you tell me that she's done and stuff. She sound like the worst case scenario, like the 1%. I'm like, dang, the stuff she did is treasonous. I'm like, yeah, she
She
crazy,
said
crazy.
crazy.
Yeah, so that's why it was offensive to me what she was saying on a panel earlier. I'm like, men are more in danger from women. They're more likely to commit domestic violence against a man. But y'all
I,
running around
hey,
acting like that's no
VBN, remind me to send you this article, this story, news story, where they talked about the lesbian divorce rate, and
Oh
they
yeah.
talked
Oh,
the
I
reason
seen it. 72%.
72%, and the number one cause of the lesbian divorce rate was domestic violence. So
Yep.
women are what, and then the gay man divorce rate was 28%, and they said, and Asked why was that divorce rate so low, and they said because men know how to problem solve.
Yeah, we talked about that. I seen that article. Me and Lena talked about it actually.
That is crazy. Yeah,
Yeah.
72%, Lena. That's
So
crazy.
again, that's reality. That's the reality in the world. So for somebody to take that reality and all of a suddenly go to men are so violent, I can't go to Applebee's. Like, I mean, what are we talking about? But again, remember the original question was, "What is your ideal date?" This never had to come up. It never had to come up. She could have just told us what the ideal date was. But she took that opportunity to throw men under the bus. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
I see where you're saying. That lets you know I'm such a woman. I missed the whole point. You're just talking about the ideal date, not first thing you do. I
The
would go by this.
question
I see what
was,
you're
"What is
saying
your
now.
ideal date?" Four
Okay, I
people
see that.
before her answered the question, including another
And you
woman.
know what is really crazy? Even let's think fairy. We can't even fairy tale and think, hey, like, oh, if everything go right, if a good perfect day, this is what will happen. I'll
That was
be
the
there.
question.
Right. That let you know we as women. I'm not blaming her because I might have thought the same way. Like, I don't think it's. I didn't. I don't think in terms of safety like that all the time. Depending the background, I think of comfortability. Like I said, like I don't want to be in the car with them by myself, and I want them in the
We
car with
didn't
me.
need to know any of that. We could have skipped over all of that. It wasn't how
Right.
you get into the date. All she had to do was remember, four other people answered the question before her, and they all answered the question and gave their ideal date scenario.
Mm,
So when we
okay.
get to her, oh, it's all it is. I don't feel safe. I got an extra. Plus, she didn't say the words exit strategy. I did, but that's what she was describing was an exit strategy. So you already
Mm,
got one foot out the door, which was RBN's point. I'm not dealing, and I said it in the chat. I'm not even dealing with a woman who thinks like that because it goes downhill from there. You already got one foot out the door on the first date.
mm-hmm.
And he's a busy man. I don't work anymore. I'm different. He works. He's a respiratory therapist. That man ain't got time to be playing with nobody. So when he offers to take you out on a date and you giving him all this damn pushback, you're offending him.
Mm,
I was a salesman. I I could be at work selling shit instead of being out on this date with you. I could go by myself and Lena, I'll go by myself in a minute. I
mm.
go by myself out to eat. How many restaurants have I been in on the phone with you? I
Yes,
go again. That's what I recommend young men doing.
those are little phone dates.
Go to a place that you like to go to where you're comfortable, because it's not about the man getting to know you. The man could give a shit less. We could
I
do that.
understand that Yeah, I understand where you're going. Even though not to get off the subject, I just want to talk about that list. Some stuff I was like, okay, this list is a little goofy, but some
Like
stuff I
what was your
understand.
problem? What was the
Hmm.
problem you have with the list?
With the list, I didn't like. I mean, they're just places to eat. Like I
Name them.
understand fast food.
Let's talk specifics. Which one didn't? I mean, what didn't you agree with?
I didn't agree with the one for church. If church is the only place, I don't agree with the church because you're not
As
going
a
to get
first
to
date?
as a first date because you're not going to get to know someone. Your worship, especially if you take them in their different religion or something. Like if you took me to a Catholic church, I wouldn't know everything they do, like the kneel or to receive the wine and the sacrament. I wouldn't know. I would feel kind of out of place,
Yeah,
uncomfortable.
I've never heard of anybody going on a first date to a church.
Mhm.
That
I
I
know
never
women
heard.
who've done that, like, oh, let's go to church, and they themselves suggesting. I know some men who do it too. I was like, oh. Now I
As a
could see.
first date, a date suggests dinner. I'm not saying an event. I'm talking about a date. So I've never heard of that. Somebody going to church. Now I've had
Yeah.
women invite me to their churches. Like I've never been nowhere else with them before. Hey, my church is Macedonia. You know, we are having Bible study on Wednesday. Matter of fact, I did that one time. The girl was, and here's what she did. It actually was a come up because remember one of my side businesses was photography and graphic designs, and I did
Mhm.
website design. So I went to the Bible study, and she ended up introducing me to the pastor for the purpose of doing the church's website.
That's weird.
I ended up making some money.
Oh, okay. I see.
It was cool. It wasn't a weird thing. It was cool. I happened to be talking to her, and she was like, "Hey, what you got going on Wednesday?" And I was like, I ain't got nothing going on Wednesday. My kids is at their mama house. I'm kind of gonna be chilling. She says, "Well, why don't you swing by the church?" She said it like that. I was like, "All right, cool." So I swung by the church. I was chilling. I enjoy a good Bible study. Um, Checked the church. I had never been to this church before. It wasn't too far from my house, and I picked up some business there. That wasn't my intent, but she was kind of courting me in a way, like getting approval from the men that she looked at as her elders. She was a single woman, a single mother. So it was kind of a slick way of her getting the men that she trusted to check me out.
I see what you're saying. Not
So that was
understanding.
actually pretty, now that I think about it, that was pretty smart of her.
Mhm.
Mm. We
Then.
never went out, but when I ended up cooking for her one night because I started doing a website for the church, and she had to drop something off to me, and she came by the house, and I was making lasagna or something. She was like, "Ooh, what's that? What's that smell?" I'm like, "Oh, I got a lasagna. Just do a lasagna in the oven." "Ooh, I love lasagna." I'm like, "Well, you want to stay and have something?" And it kind of turned into an impromptu first date at my house, Um, and it was cool. It was a cool experience. It was like, wasn't nothing weird about it. It kind of worked. It was a perfect storm of things because my kids was gone, and I never had company when my kids was home. Dream and Imagine was young back then. Sundiata was a baby. So I didn't invite women to my house, but she was coming by to drop off some photos, I think, or whatever I needed for the website. She wanted me to see. She was dropping it off to me. It wasn't weird at all. So I'm kind of on the fence about the church thing. I'm on the fence about that. Hell, if a man invites you to a church, let's say because this is what the list is. The man invited you. So if a man invites you to his church, do you think this is the guy that's trying to hurt you?
No, I don't think he's trying to hurt me. But the thing is, I wouldn't want to go to the church if
No,
that's
I
the only thing.
understand what you're saying. Why
Hmm.
you wouldn't want to go. I'm just think about it from the man, about what the man is about. Like, this is a solid guy. He go to church regularly. The first place he thought to invite you was church. Even if you
Hmm.
decline for whatever reason, that's still a good look.
Hmm.
That's still a good look. Hey girl, yeah, V, you know what? V invited me to church. He did what? Yeah, he invited me to come to his church. I told him I had to take Brooklyn somewhere, but still, he invited me to his church. Maybe he a good guy.
Hmm.
That's how women should see it. Not
Hmm.
see y'all been conditioned to find the negatives in everything.
I'm. Oh no, I'm not saying it's
I'm not saying you
negative.
personally, just as a group of people.
Yeah, I
That's
see.
Order 66 that me and RBN was talking about. That programming, there's got to be something wrong. Even when there's nothing wrong, y'all be finding shit wrong.
Mm.
Like Ray said earlier, oh, what if the guy gets aggressive on the first date? This is what I want to get your take on. What if he gets aggressive on the first date? Well, what do you mean by aggressive? What if he tries to hold my hand? She
Okay, bro.
she found a problem with a guy trying to hold her hand during the first date. What do you
You're
think
not
of that?
into him, then.
Me and you go on a first date. We going to White Castles. You already know that. We go, but I grab your hand. Is that creepy? Is that scary?
No, not for me. No,
I
I.
mean, really? But this is the kind of shit she was saying. And she's putting, this is an older woman. She's damn near 50. Putting this shit out, and younger women can hear this. Younger men can hear this. This is a problem. That's why I got mad and went the fuck off.
Oh, I forgot I had another creepy date too. It was real creepy. I'm sorry
So
I ain't mentioned
here's
that
what
one.
I said. Tell me if you're surprised at me saying this, because what she said that triggered me was, "Oh, my daddy always told me to look out and watch all the angles and all of that." I said, "Fuck your punk ass daddy." What's wrong with these daddies is they gave y'all women a bunch of bad advice, which is why you're not in a solid relationship now. Oh,
Mm.
these dudes started simping for her, and no, D, you wrong. You shouldn't have said that. But y'all let her say all that shit she just said. But you mad at me because I'm saying the truth. All of them old men with sense and punk asses, they dropped the ball. I'm sorry. You've heard me say that before. But I hate women. I'm telling you the truth. I've seen my stepfather do it to my sisters. I've seen my uncle do it to my cousins. I've seen these men do it firsthand. They lie to y'all. They tell y'all things that ain't true. And they got you out here scared of good men. You're missing your blessing, is what RBN said. You're missing blessings because of stupid stuff, Order 66, that your daddy put in your head. Not saying you personally, not saying
Mhm.
your daddy personally, but generally speaking, as a generation of men, they participated in it. It's a problem. It's a problem.
Hey,
And
hey
it's
B
time to
man.
start acknowledging that
Hey, B,
shit is a problem.
hey B man.
Yo,
What city you in?
I'm in Charlotte.
Charlotte.
Now, I've lived a few places. I'm originally from Jersey. I'm from Newark, New Jersey, originally. I've been in the South about 30 years. I went to college here. I went to high school here. Hell, I worked on my master's here. I raised my kids here. I've lived in Chicago. I've been, I've been around. I'm broad. I got some experience with places.
You really lived
I lived on the south side of Chicago. I used to
in
live
the
on
best side
79th
of
and Woodlawn
Chicago.
by Stony Island. I used to go to Happy Liquors on Cottage and 79th.
Oh, I know exactly. Right across from the car
Yeah,
station
baby.
chain.
I'm old school Chicago.
Because I'm from 79. I'm just not that far east, but I'm not that far from that either.
Yeah.
I
I
don't
know
live
the
there
area.
now, but I'm
And
in the burbs.
guess what?
Damn.
I had stepdaughters. I had three stepdaughters when I lived in Chicago. They weren't
Hmm.
scared to go to school or walk down the street on the south side of Chicago. But these women are telling me they scared to go to Applebee's. Stop it. Stop it. And she from New York. Really? You from New York and you scared to go to Applebee's? Really? Really? That's what we doing here? I don't entertain that bullshit. And all the guys got mad on me. And I told them I don't care what the fucking feelings were. That's my motto. Fuck your feelings. That applies to everybody. That includes me. This ain't about feelings. This is about facts. That's what we're supposed to be talking about here in the manosphere. Facts and statistics and data in real life. We supposed to counteract all this opinion stuff. That's why we created the manosphere. We this how it started 15 years ago with MGTOWs. We started talking about facts, data, and statistics and creating a space where men can talk like men. Now I can't do it because these chicks want to come over here and invade our space. Guess what? You come over here, you getting it raw. You getting it the way I give it to everybody else. I'm not changing my speech because they sensitive. I don't care. And Lena, you know me. You know I love women.
I agree.
You know
That
this. Huh?
I don't think you hate women,
Right.
and we don't
But I
even agree
love you enough
sometimes.
to tell
I
you the
definitely
truth.
don't think you hate women.
You know I love women. I love you enough to tell you the truth. The ones who don't love you, they lie to you. Those are the ones that hate you. not the one who's telling you the truth. What did the Bible say? Beware of the man who talks smooth as butter and soft as oil, because in his heart is war. That warning is there for a reason. And I paraphrased it. I didn't quote it exactly. It's paraphrased. But nonetheless, it's the same sentiment. Meaning, God is trying to tell women, the men who tell you what you want to hear in their minds are war. They don't have good intents for you. They gonna tell you whatever they gotta say to get in your pants. They ain't got the balls to tell you the truth up front because they thinking you ain't gonna give them no coochie if they tell you the truth. That's what they scared of. They don't realize they gonna get more coochie if they tell you the truth. They
How
don't
many times have
realize
you heard me say that, BJ? I've said that a
you
lot. A
never
lot. I
heard
tell
that. I
dudes all
don't
the
know what
time.
to tell you.
You'll be shocked at what you get by just telling the truth.
Just telling the truth. But men got in the habit of playing these games, and it don't get them nowhere, no way. It don't get them where they think they're gonna go. And the dude that come behind them and tell the truth gets way further. I think the man should have a conversation up front. Hey, here's what I got planned. Hey, I'm going to Applebee's. You welcome to come with me. I come get you. You meet me there, have a couple of drinks, and maybe we hook up later on. What you want to do? Women like sex just as much as men. So why we not having that conversation? Nah, we lying and trying to sneak into some pussy. That simp shit don't work.
Hmm.
I ain't never had to lie to kick it. I ain't got to lie to kick it, Craig. What is it? I ain't never had to do that. Never. All my life. So I don't want to hear generation. Well, it's different today. That was back in the day. It's the same shit.
You should you should have Alma and I show you that clip of me bouncing this chick off of this stream the other day.
Oh, what happened?
Uh, she got to talking reckless, talking about I don't get no pussy and all this, that, and the third. Yeah.
Well, Lena did that to a chick. Me and Lena was on the chat on Jay's network, and the chick started talking shit to me. Lena got mad at the girl. Like, nah, baby, you got it wrong. He ain't like that.
No,
Like,
I
I don't know
bounced the
who
girl.
you talking. Lena got
Over.
hot.
No, I straight up bounced the girl. I mean, she first of all, I made a comment towards one of the guys, and then she jumped in trying to defend the guy. First of all, that was nothing for her to jump in on because this is two guys talking, and
Yeah.
then she goes to there talking about you. You know, because I told him to stop simping for one of the girls. I said, "Look, man, stop simping for this girl. She already got how many times she got to tell you she got a man?" And then the other chick jumped in talking about you the simp. He got more bitches than you. Da da da. I was like, you know what? Good night, and
Well, you know
bounced off the chair.
that's that sign language that Kevin told us about. Shame, insult, guilt need to be right. So
Yeah,
they were trying to shame you and insult you into
yeah.
compliance,
I wasn't trying to hear that mess, man.
and that shit don't work on me either.
Yeah.
It don't work on me. I said, don't play them games with me. I have women come on here and give you firsthand testimony. I'm that dude. So don't play with me.
The one thing I ain't never had a problem with, and that's getting a gal. I could be ugly or all I want to be or whatever. I ain't never had no problem getting no gal. I ain't got no problem talking to no gal. Hmm.
I'm trying to, somebody putting stuff in the private chat. I'm trying to see it. I may have to go back and look at this later. Wait a minute. It's kind of weird. I don't know. My eyesight, I'm legally blind, man, but sometimes my eyesight play tricks on me. I'll look at it later. But yeah, man. Men gotta start sticking together and stay on code. So when I
Hmm.
get mad when these guys want to start caping for these women, I don't never have no problems when I'm talking to men. None. I don't have problems when I'm talking to most women rather. So all of a suddenly, y'all let this girl come on here and say all this stuff that ain't true and offensive to me and other men. Y'all don't ain't got no problem with that, but you got a problem with how I responded to it. Bullshit. We're not gonna play that game today. Y'all better boot me off of here because I ain't gonna shut up. not in that scenario. And I told the guy, I told CJ, I'm like, CJ, I'm not trying to disrespect your chat tonight, but we got to stop letting this stuff stand. And that was the whole purpose of me getting on here. A friend of mine got mad at me the other day. Here's the conversation. And I've been saying this for years. How many people does it take to make a baby? And I'm not talking biologically.
Say
I'm
that
talking
again.
about responsibility and accountability.
Yeah.
How many people does it take to make a baby?
Oh.
So, it's their body, their choice, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
their body, their choice. That means whatever choice they make, they're responsible. Now, they can't have it that way, and then when things go against their plan, all of a sudden the man is equal and he had the same amount of accountability. I don't agree with that. Because before the woman even meets the man, she can decide whether or not she wants to have a baby. The man ain't even in the equation yet. She can take steps to prevent herself from getting pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
Amanaz doesn't have a baby. My sister Ebony ain't got a baby. My sister Irie, my cousin, my sister Kalita. I got another cousin. I got too many women around me who chose not to get pregnant and they haven't because that was their choice. Nobody got them pregnant against their will. So I get tired of these baby mamas talking about, oh, well, he got me pregnant. No, he didn't. You got too many forms of birth control, over 20, that the man knows nothing about. Then you supposed to know as a woman your fertility window. You can only get pregnant 5 to 7 days during a month. So don't have sex during that window. They got apps on your phone which will help you calculate that. So you have no excuse for getting pregnant if you don't want to. That is your choice. The man had nothing to do with it. We haven't even met the man yet. And then they can't explain that, and they can't explain how the other women, how there are so many women who don't have babies and haven't been pregnant before. They can't explain that. They can get pregnant, but they've chosen not to. They've been responsible. My daughter is one of them. She's 22. She's never been pregnant. Why? Because she decided early on, I'm not gonna get pregnant. So I don't want to hear these grown women. If a 22-year-old girl can do it, that means your grown ass can do it too. Don't want to
Mm-hmm.
hear it. That has nothing to do with this fictitious man that you haven't met yet. Because, see, they always want to move the conversation to after the pregnancy. Oh, well, I'm pregnant now. No, I'm talking about, let's go back before you got pregnant. You're in your house by yourself. The man, you don't know this man yet. You have things you can do to prevent your pregnancy. The man, there is no man. You can't argue with that. But they try. Can't do
I
it.
don't. I don't argue with men that women shouldn't protect themselves and that they're at risk, at both parties to be at risk. Always protect yourself, both men and women. That's honestly how I feel about it.
I
And I
agree
feel
with that statement. So let's drill down on it. Can they protect themselves equally is the question. And the answer is no. Men have one thing they can do to guarantee you won't get pregnant, and that's not have sex with you. That's the only thing a man can do. Now, women have 20 plus forms of birth control before they meet the man. That's not 20 to 1 is not equal. Not even close. Not even close. It's
well,
your
it's
body.
closer, but it's a little bit closer than that. But it's still we do
It's
got
not
way.
closer than that. Men have one form, and that's abstinence. That's the
Yeah, and
only thing a man can do to stop you from getting pregnant.
yeah,
100%
women.
of the time.
It's 12 forms of birth control, and two of them out of that 12 form, it's the same thing like abstinence, sterilization. So like 10 to 1.
Well, I'm not just talking about chemical birth control. I'm talking about non-vaginal sex. You got two other forms of sex women can do. So that's two things. Plus the 12 forms of birth control. That's 14 things.
That's what
Plus,
women can do. That's what men can do too. I
no,
mean,
they can't. The only thing a man can do is not have sex with you. That's the only form of birth control that's 99% or greater.
he can have anal sex with you. He's the same with
But
you.
you
I
have
mean,
to agree to that. The man can't force anal sex on you or oral sex on you. That's your choice. The man
right?
can't decide, oh, I'm gonna fuck you in your ass tonight. You gonna, well, no, you're not. You have to be willing and receptive to that.
I see what you're saying.
You see what I'm saying?
Uh, I see where you're going with that.
Right. So we can't make one thing be equal to 20 plus things. It's more than 20. It's more like 30 if you add them all up. And
It's really if you take away apps because out of the 12, because it sits there on the
so
on
12 is not including apps, is not including anal sex and oral sex. That's not included in the 12.
okay, so
So
we
that's
back at
14 already.
12. So we'll put it at
Birth
12
control pills.
because
We look,
when I said the
you and I
office,
looked this
that's
up. You and I
this.
looked this up the other day. You got
Uh-huh.
3 types of birth control for every one. So there are three. You got to add another three. So for every you got like 12 different kinds of birth control, and each one of them got 3 types. Hell, that's 36.
That's like I mean, it still does like the same thing. It's like me saying, okay, you're saying chemical forms of birth control. Granted, I'm not counting all the different types. I mean, there are different types of chemical, but they do different stuff. That's why they
Well, when
name
I
it.
say type, I'm not talking about a brand. I'm talking about a type. So, for
Yeah, there's
example,
only
you
it's
got
only
multiple forms of female condoms, right?
uh-huh,
You got the
uh-huh.
ring, you got the sponge, you got the implants. So there are a lot of there. I mean, once you break all of that down, it's really like 30 plus.
Well, it's
So
only
there's a
really
difference
12.
between a ring and a sponge. Those are two different types.
Well, they count them as different. I see why, because they have a different action. So, like, is when you
But we're
sit
talking
in
about
the
birth control. So I'm not going to get
uh,
into all of the nuances. They're different, is the point. And you
uh,
have access to choose. The ring don't work for me. I'm gonna go with the sponge. The sponge don't work for me. I'm gonna go with the implant. Once you do all of this, all of the options, it's like 30 of them. It's
I
like
see just
30 of them. Even if it wasn't, let's say it's only 10. Let's just for the sake of argument's sake, it's 10. That's still 10 different choices a woman can make versus the one the man has. 10 to 1. You don't even get odds like that in Vegas on certain games. I mean, really. So we got to start being real about what we're saying. And then at the same time, here I'm gonna give you the flip side of it because women control access to sex and who gets born. That's what women control. Men control the access to relationships and marriage. So if you marry a bad woman, fellas, it's on you. You can't blame that woman because that's your responsibility. Same way. And oh no, V, you wrong, V. She was a monster. I married a monster for 20 years and I'm still saying it was my fault. You never heard me blame her. It's always been my fault because I chose her.
did you have any indication prior to her, like maybe I should marry her?
In hindsight, yes, but at the time when I was a young man and didn't have the knowledge that I have now, I didn't know what to look for. So
Yeah,
I'm
you're
sure, and and especially in hindsight, there were red flags there. I didn't know what to look for. Either way, It's my responsibility. Ignorance of the law is not an exception to the law. That's the American way. You can't get pulled over for speeding and tell the cop, "Oh, I didn't know I couldn't go that fast." The cop's still gonna give you a ticket because it was your responsibility as a driver, as a licensed driver, to know what the speed limit is. The same principle applies. So, men, I don't want to hear how bad your wife is. You didn't vet her properly, whether you knew how to or not. It still falls on you, fellas. You got to do a better job of vetting the women and vetting her mama. More importantly, vetting her mama or whoever the older women is around her. You need to be vetting them too. Because that's going to, what did I say earlier when we were talking? You could judge a tree by its what? Its fruit. I didn't know that. I didn't know to look for that when I was young. All I had to do was look at the mama. All of the problems are there. All of them. And her sisters did the same shit her mama did. She did the same shit her mama did. Her brother did. They all are adulterers. They all got divorced damn near before 30. They all, I mean, it just, whatever, all of them. You could just run down the list. It all comes from mama. Mama cheated on her daddy and had a baby outside of their marriage. It was all there. I didn't know to look for it. I didn't know what I was looking for, and that's still my fault. See, I give it to the men. That's me being equal. That's me being fair. Here's where you're wrong, fellas. Here's where you're wrong, women. I ain't making the woman wrong. I'm making the man wrong in that scenario because it's your job to pick your wife. It's the man's fault. And I've heard a lot of stories. The dudes get mad at me when I say it. I don't care. Fuck they feelings. It's your fault. Take the L and learn from it and move the fuck on. You want to sit and boo-hoo for it? What you want? I ain't got time to hear that shit from men. What do you want? It's fucked up. It happened. It was bad. She a horrible person. Guess what? You picked her. Just like we tell the women, you got a bad baby daddy. Guess what? You picked him. Same shit. We got to start being accountable and take the L. You know what? We got to be able to look back and say, my baby daddy wasn't shit. I did a bad job of picking him. I'm going to do better next time. But I'm talking about, we got women out here who got 5 bad baby daddies. How is that possible? That you met 5. I don't know 5 ain't shit dudes in my life. I could maybe give you 3 or 4. She happened to meet 5 of them. This girl I'm thinking about met 5 of them in a short period of time. Within 4, because one of them, she had a set of twins. So like in a 4-year period, she had 5 kids by 4 dudes. So you happen to meet 4 ain't shit dudes and make babies with them. That's you. It's something about you that likes ain't shit dudes. That ain't the men. She couldn't accept that. And I'm like, I don't. I had another girl that used to work for me, in United Healthcare, and she called me because everybody had my phone, so she called me one Saturday crying like, "V, I need to talk to you, Mr. V." And I'm like, "All right." I pulled over. What's up? I thought something was going on with work. She couldn't get to work or something. No, she giving me. I gotta tell you, my homegirls. I tried to get some advice from them, and they got me so upset. I said, "Okay, what happened?" Well, my dude, he really ain't my dude. I'm really just a side chick, she said. I said, "Oh, wow." And my girls told me that I shouldn't be dealing with this, but I love him and I want him to leave his baby mama. It ain't never gonna happen, boo.
Nope.
Same thing her girls told her. It ain't gonna happen. You know he got a girl. He lives with the other girl, but he can fuck you and drive your car whenever he wants to. Why would he leave her when he already can fuck you whenever he wants to and drive your car? Why? Why would he do that? I say, here's what's about to happen. She got mad at me and didn't speak to me for a year. I say, here's what I said. I'll tell you, let me give you two choices. Here go your two choices. The best situation you could do is move in with him and his baby mama and both of y'all fuck him. Guess what? Both of y'all fucking him anyway. Because he'll fuck you and go right home and fuck her and don't even take a shower. So y'all both doing that anyway. Or what's gonna happen is your second choice is you're gonna be baby now. He already had 4 baby mamas. You about to be baby mama number 5. I guarantee within the next year you're gonna be pregnant if you ain't already pregnant. She got mad at me, Lena, and stopped speaking to me for a year, right? So it was like August when I talked to her, when she stopped talking to me. I didn't hear from her to the next August, so that's 12 months, right? You listening?
Yeah, I'm listening.
So 12 months I hadn't talked to her. How long it take to make a baby? 9 months, right?
She had a baby.
So 9 months plus 3 months gets you back to the next August, right? That's when she called me the next time. Oh, I said, hey, how you doing? She's still on my Facebook to this day. Hey, how you doing? Oh, I'm doing good. I said, what's new? Oh, I got a baby. I said, how old is your baby? She says, oh, he 9 months old. No, he 9 months old. He was 3 months old. Excuse me. He was 3 months old. I said, is the baby daddy that dude you was messing with last year? Oh, who you talking about? I said, don't play dumb with me. You know exactly who I'm talking about. That dude that was with the other girl. Is that the baby daddy? Oh, yeah. I said, what did I tell you last year? You was about to be baby number 5. So that means when I told you that, you was already pregnant and you got pregnant immediately after that. 9 months later, you spit out that baby and here go 3 months. He 3 months old. Did I not predict that shit or what?
Yeah, definitely.
And she was a cute girl. The dude was ugly as shit.
Ooh, I hate when people do that.
Nice, pretty girl, had it going on. She was raised by her grandparents. She worked at United Healthcare with me. She had things
Can you hear
going
me?
on.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember one time, all of us would go out like every 2 weeks after work. Like on our pay weeks, we would all go out to eat together. It was like 10 or 12 of us going out, girls and guys. And we would always invite her, but she never could go because her boyfriend would be jealous and he ain't like her going out.
Mm-hmm.
The boyfriend she was talking about was the dude. She wasn't even a girlfriend. She was a side dude. So he got a girl at home, living with him, driving your car and telling you where you can and can't go, but he can go anywhere he want in your car and fuck anybody he want to fuck. I said, please make this make sense. Please make this make sense. Somewhere in her rabbit ass mind, she really made sense.
Let me, can I, I have to disconnect for a second. I'm picking up food real quick, as you can
Yeah, I'm
hear.
gonna drop off here because everybody's going anyway. So you call me directly if you need to.
Okay. All right. All right.